Okay, what is going on? Queen LV. Yo, what is going on with this thing? Why is it not? Why is it going in circles? Why is it spinning like this for? Huh. Yo, can you guys hear me yet or what? All right, guys, what is going on? Thank you guys for tuning in. Can you guys hear me pretty good? If you guys can, please press 1. I don't know why, it took a while for it to start up my live feed, but hopefully my connection is pretty good. Thank you guys for joining. Let me see here. We got Stacy, Oni, Queen, Danny, John J, Hot Nama, Martha. Thank you guys. Thank everybody for tuning in. We'll give it about a minute more. Get some more people in here. I know a lot of people probably are not getting notified anymore because of YouTube. Back of the bus, buddy. And that's what they do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this play out real quick and then we'll get to it. All right, guys, let's do this. Walt K, thank you for that $5 super chat. Thank you for that love. Guys, so we have an update. Little birdie, little rumor, a little something that, few people have looked into, and you guys remember this video here, obviously. I still don't know why it's not loading correctly. I don't know. It's kind of skipping a little bit. Hopefully that catches up. But you guys remember about the girl here in Palmdale, Consuela? You guys remember what happened? It seems like she was correct, guys. Let me tell you guys something. Everyone here in United We Stand, we all know that children disappear all the time. Right? And a lot of kids don't disappear because of the pedophile on the corner or the guy in the white van that comes and snatches your child from in front of your home. Guess where a lot of these kids are being taken from? Kidnapped from their parents directly in the court without being given a fair trial. You guys remember that? When she kept saying that, I wasn't given a fair trial. Come to find out, she was telling the truth. And that is not what's supposed to happen in the US of A, right? She was not given a fair trial at all. And now, guess what? They literally stole her kids from her, kidnapped them. And now she's facing 11 years in prison. Make this make sense? She was not given a trial at all. Nothing. Nobody was questioned. They're all dirty. They're all corrupt. The judge is dirty. Whoever was on her case, dirt. The DA, dirt. the public pretender, dirt. They're all dirty. And so she knew it. And she's not a dumb person. She actually graduated from she has a criminal law degree, guys. So she is not dumb. When she sits there and says, they stole my kids and I was not given a fair trial, that's exactly what happened. So now she's facing 11 years in prison for doing so. Can you guys imagine how many people are out there that feel like they can't fight back, that they don't have a voice? Why? Because the corruption is drowning out the truth, it seems like. There's so many people that don't know their rights. And so these courts, they take advantage of that. Yeah, 11 years. No, from what I hear, what I understand, she's actually out right now. But that's what she's facing, though. For standing up, doing the right thing. What would you have done? What would you have done if the courts did not give you a fair trial and your kids were taken because of some liar that sat there and made up some story just because they didn't like you? What would you have done? So this is a call out to all people, whether you're on the live stream now or later on when you're catching it at the end. This is a call out to all people that have gone through something like this and you've gone to court, you weren't given a fair trial, your kids were removed. I'm going to tell you this much. There is a group of folks, mothers, that are working together. And as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to give you guys a phone number to someone to contact, a very trustworthy person. And seriously, you guys can contact this person because enough is enough. I know there's other people out here that's gone through this. I've sat down, I've talked to about 9 different families, and they all have the same stories. I don't know what happened. One day my kids are here, next day they're gone. We're told to go to court, we go to court, and then our kids get taken. So if either you guys have been through this or you know someone that has been through this, then be ready, because once I put this phone number out there, you guys now have someone, multiple people that are willing to fight for you and fight for your rights. At the same time, you have to seriously learn about your rights as well. And you can't let these people keep on running over you. I mean, I get it when you got cops at your door and you got somebody else at your door talking, I'm a government worker, employee, I need to come into your home. Guess what? No, you don't. Fuck off right away, unless you got a search warrant. You do not have to open up your door to these tyrants. You understand that's right? You do not have to open your door. No, Tracy, she's out right now. But you guys do know that. CPS News Network, what's up, my brother? Right. And listen, guys, if they come knocking on your door with allegations, well, we were told this and that, we were told this and that, don't talk to these people. Matter of fact, get your camera out, get your phone out, you have a camera on it, and hit record. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. They don't like to be exposed for their corruption, right? Let me see. Ari Lynn, I'm going to highlight your comment real quick just to see what it says. I was in the same situation. They did the same because I refused to let them come in and search my house. And that's your right. That's your right. And what did they do? They threatened you, right? They threatened you for using your rights, right? Yeah, you guys make sure to keep her in your prayers. But how many other people out there that do not have their kids right now because of some corrupt judge and a corrupt district attorney and a public pretender have screwed them over or scared them into a corner. You see, when we started looking into missing children, I had a feeling that the road was going to point directly at DCFS and the court system. And sure enough, it does. Everything points at them. I mean, who's holding these judges accountable? Who's holding the district attorneys accountable? These people work for us, and they forgot that. They forgot that. And I guess according to them, we're nothing but a bunch of peasants, right? They could do whatever they want to us once we walk into that courtroom, right? You got a guy in there with a gun, with handcuffs, ready to take you to jail. Just if the judge orders it for anything and everything. Let me see here. Miss B, let me see. She showed up at my door, seeing my husband beats me. That somebody reported. I'm like, what? You see? Just a lie like that could get them to come and take your children from you. What? RW said, my commissioner said it's okay to get strangled. Wow. Yeah, I want to thank all you guys for being here. But listen, guys, this is serious. If you know anyone at all that is going through this or has gone through it and they did not get a fair trial or trial, you guys, please steer them in this direction. Make sure, for the moment, have them email me at AV.WATCHMEN@gmail.com. AV.WATCHMEN@gmail.com. And as soon as we have a phone number that you guys can work with, I'm going to most definitely 100% come back on here and give you guys that phone number, because enough is enough. Enough's enough, guys. So I've tried going up to the court building, the juvenile court building, to ask questions. And guess what? I mean, I'm pretty sure some of you guys seen that video already. Guess what? I'm told to leave, that I'm not able to record there. Why is that? It's a public building. You can't record in the courtrooms itself, but anything that is open to the public, you're able to record in. They just don't like the fact that it's being recorded and they can't lie about nothing. So you have everything on film. Once it comes out their mouth, they can't turn around and say, well, I didn't say that. I didn't say, well, yeah, you did say that. It's right here on video. And that's why they hate when you record. It is a kids for cash scam. That's exactly what it is. CPS News Network. He's been here on the podcast before. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he has a lot of information. Matter of fact, if you want, I will share the link if you want to join on. Bam, there's the link. The link is in the chat. Susan, hello. Let me see. I'm trying to read through your now they cannot alter the video and they hate it. And that's why I figured it out. That's the reason why the sheriff's department probably hates me so much, because they're so used to going around locking people up and then making up all kinds of crap. But yet, here is the video. It shows something totally different. Yeah. So how are you going to get mad at me? Just tell the truth. Yeah, I mean, if you tell the truth, it's going to match with what's on the camera, right? Don't you think? But yeah, guys, we need to get this going. So the more people, you don't have to be scared to come forward. You know, there's really people that are out here that are ready to fight for you 100% and fight with everything they have 100%. So you don't have to be afraid, and don't let the little threats scare you into a corner. You know, there's some folks that really want to help get your children back. Mothers, people that are upset. I mean, dads and other people that are just upset about what's going on. They see the tyranny. They see what's happening. Yeah, thank you. If you guys can hit that thumbs up button. When you guys do that, it helps spread the word that we're live. We have a fighting mom on here. Let me get Fighting Mom in here real quick. Hey, Fighting Mom, you are live. Hello, Fighting Mom. Are you there? I hear something. Fighting Mom.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me? Hello.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Yo, CPS News Network, can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Fighting Mom, can you hear me? Okay, so Fighting Mom, I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me. What's up, CPS?
Yes, I'm open.
Go ahead, brother. Floor is yours.
Yeah.
You have anything you want to add?
Pleasure. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, just want to cpsnewsnetwork.com. Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, we have the website, cpsnewsnetwork.com. We also, and that you can, I'm juggling between a headset and I need to take it off of my headset. But yeah, we cpsnewsnetwork.com. Lots of information there. They do what they want. It's an organized terrorist crime ring. It's to destroy the family. It's to corrupt all of society. It's the most dangerous place in America, foster care. It's Nancy Schaefer murdered 2010, exposing it, the only senator. Nobody's walking in her footsteps. Let me just turn off my microphone here. Not the microphone, but my headset, because it's just a time delay.
Yeah, right.
Okay, can you hear me? Steps. Let me just turn clear. My microphone here. Not the microphone. Got it. Yeah. So, just want everyone to know that it's difficult to fight these people.
Yeah, right. Hey, they're not trying to cut you off, but
billions
you
of
might
dollars.
need to turn
They
down
have
your
unlimited amounts of money. There's $100,000 to $200,000 per child to traffic them for a year in foster care. They're selling them online. Art Gallery of America, 130,000 children for sale. To anyone, showing them to everyone. Where's the privacy there, right? Can you imagine being a child being shown to the world that you're available for trafficking, for a new license plate and VIN number, name, identity, location? Where do you go from here? It's just organized, systematic. It's from the most powerful people in the world. You know, Freemasons, whoever you want to call them, Aluma Goopy. They're all in on it. Everyone's hands involved. There's nobody. If you're not walking in Nancy Schaefer's footsteps, don't tell me you give a rat's anything about any child anywhere. Nancy Schaefer spelled it all out. Kids for cash, the corrupt business of Child Protective Service. They need children. They need heads. They need a variety so the buyer can choose. This is a slave trade. It's a straight up child trafficking slave trade. 80-90% child sex traffic and child porn made in and out of foster care using foster kids, period. I want to make that clear. Okay. And that 100 the 500,000 supposedly in the nation, but meant to destroy the family, totally rogue. They're taking your birth certificate, putting you in a civil court like it's a civil matter, like if it's a tangible product. Like there's are there civil rights violated? It's so strange. It's voodoo. It's witchcraft. It's sorcery. These judges in their gowns, they're dictating over lives for profit.
right.
Judge Judy said that the cops the judges that are put in there are the morons. They're the ones they don't want to show to the public. That's the type of people that they put in there. This has nothing to do with taking care of children. Taking care of children, they're taken 80% for claims of neglect. no evidence of a crime, period. In 90% of cases, there's no evidence of a crime. I don't know how much more to spell it out. Go to our website, CPS News Network, Facebook. We do have 50,000 followers. Whatever it's worth, we got some of the most hardcore videos you can find anywhere. The content is there. Thank you for going to Chateau Place. Thank you for going down there. It means so much. The children are nothing else is more important than what I'm talking about right now. Period. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Right. And everyone that's not doing anything about it is complicit. Every politician, every cop, every teacher, every social worker, everybody, even people, we all have a duty to do something, a duty. We've been exposed to this. It's your moral humanity duty to stand up and fight for all of our freedoms and our rights. And we don't have any. We've been overthrown for decades. The Constitution don't matter. And nobody's educating nobody on this subject. And they kicked me off, but we're coming back, trying to get my preach out there. If there's any questions, go ahead. Matter.
Yeah, we just have stick around CPS for a few. We have Fighting Mom in here. Fighting Mom, are you with us?
Any questions, go ahead.
Yes, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Can you do me a quick favor before we go on though? Can you turn down the background volume? Because we have a lot of echo coming
in. Nice to meet you.
Can you do me a quick favor before we go?
That's probably somebody else's.
Oh, okay, that's CPS. CPS, can you turn down your volume, please? Oh, he disconnected. Come back in as soon as you're done. Okay, Fighting Mom, thank you for joining. Can you hear me pretty good?
Yes, I can hear you perfect.
All right, go ahead. The floor is yours.
I've been dealing with CPS for about 8 years now. So I am a member of a coalition of thousands of parents whose children were separated for years without advisement of waiver of rights to cross-examine the social workers at the jurisdiction hearing. And we discovered the laws that apply to our cases after months of research. Do you guys know that we have a right to cross-examine the social workers?
Right. Mm-hmm.
On all the lies that they write in their reports.
Can you guys hear Fighting Mom pretty good? You guys just heard what she said, right? Let me just see from the chat. They could hear you pretty good, okay?
Yes, go ahead. You have a right to cross-examine the social workers at the jurisdiction and dispositional hearing. And as we discovered the laws that apply to our cases after months of research, and we are shocked. We just learned under California Rule of Court 5.674, we have the statutory right to cross-examine the preparer of each report filed in court. But no one knew this because no one told us. And no CSW was ever cross-examined. Am I correct? On people's cases?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure nobody never came and testified for the life of their case, and the social workers are just writing false reports, and they are basically going under WIC 355. The allegations are deemed to be true and sufficient to sustain the petition if, and that's a big if, the parent is afforded the opportunity to cross-examine the CSW. They waive your rights. It's a form called JV-190 where you are admitting to these allegations. And if we don't cross-examine the social worker, everything in their report is true and your kids are getting taken.
Jeez. And no cross-examination, nothing at all.
No cross-examination. Even a criminal has a right to cross-examine anybody that prepares a report, you know?
You guys hear this, right? You guys know how dangerous that is, right?
It's very dangerous.
What's a form JB-190?
JV as in Victor.
Is it JV as in Victor?
Yes. 190. Okay. It's a waiver of rights. And according to the judge, the judge's bench guide, if we denied the allegations at the detention hearing and failed to cross-examine the CSW at the jurisdiction hearing, we all denied the allegations at the detention hearing and failed to cross-examine the CSW, and no one ever mentioned a JV 190. So, they are signing JV 190s for parents, saying that we admit to everything that these social workers are saying. If we are a drug abuser and all that, they are writing our name and saying that we are a substance abuser, mental illness. We have to take all these classes, and we do not get a chance to cross-examine the CSWs.
Right. There's a question on the screen. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, how can we make sure we get to cross-examine the workers?
Oh, you won't. The judge will make sure that you won't. Your attorney will make sure that you won't. Everybody is a part of it. You have to assert your rights. You have to learn your rights. I didn't know anything about nothing until I picked up a law book and start educating myself.
Right.
And reading everything. But they have a structured decision making tool, and the definition of marijuana abuse and child welfare purposes is set forth in the structured decision making protocol. The statutory definition requires a medical profession's opinion that you are a substance abuser as defined in the DSM 5th edition, and you are rendered unable to provide regular care, inadequate food, clothing, or shelter. That is the nexus. There was no nexus in any of our cases, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
No medical evidence, nothing. They just come in and basically filing perjury. And
right.
Everybody is saying that you are this and that. And you never get a chance to cross-examine the person that prepares the report and file it.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yes.
So we have our kids being trafficked right from the court, kidnapped from parents. That's what it is.
Absolutely right. And we can't say anything. We're not able to speak up in court. They'll tell you to shut up or don't talk to your lawyer. They are basically running parents down a telemarketing script. And they're going wild. They're violating due process rights. They're violating ADA accommodations rights. They are not helping the parents, reunify with the children. And it only takes 5 to 15 minutes to cross-examine the social workers.
Right.
We are not able to put on a defense. We're not able to put on evidence. We're not able to do anything but sit there and have that attorney hold our hands while we get our children snatched and sold to the first buyer.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure everybody was not advised of their rights to cross-examine the CSW by the court or by your attorney. And I'm pretty sure no one never waived any rights.
Right. Did you want to add to that, CPS?
Sure. Yes, about the
They're on the hunt for a man behind a racist attack on a subway train in Brooklyn. Investigators say the 14-year-old victim was on board a northbound 4 train.
That's not you?
11-year-old brother and mother
negative.
Yesterday.
That's somebody's.
Negative. I'm closing screens. I got 2 screens open. I got YouTube and StreamYard.
Yeah, that's the thing with these courts. They don't tell you your civil rights.
The incident
I hear something playing in the background. It's like news or something.
Happening today.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Claire, yeah, you got to get stuff on record. They are going to lynch you. They're going to if you're targeted, if you're the target market. There's pedophiles running the whole industry, the top end of it. The judges are accountable to nobody. The cross-examination of it is vital. You have to do it, or everything's true. Just like if you sign any document they ever give you, whatever they say is true. You don't want to sign anything with these people, and you want to cross-examine those social workers. We did get that on appeal, and I won that on appeal, and it could have been published, but I didn't have it published. But it's only published appeals that get that you're allowed to use as case precedents. So that's another consideration too. To if you win an appeal, get it published so that other people can use it. So even if I won my appeal to cross-examine SWs, it can't be used in other cases. So that's kind of something that I should have done, because everyone could have used it. It's a powerful tool, like Mom's saying, fighting mom, and they're going to do what they want. They're going to lead you down. They're all working together. Culture of fear. There's a book there. Lots of videos. Lots of the DCFS director was fired. Not fired, stepped down, whatever. What's going on
after
with that?
I read my letter at LA? Yeah, after I read my letter, he stepped down.
We're following. He's from Georgia, home of Nancy Schaefer. He increased foster care by like 30% in 3 or 4 years. He was promoted down here. I call him the devil came down from Georgia. We've covered it. Nancy Schaefer was there. She knew of large, 15 foster little children in rooms down beneath the basement being sex trafficked by social workers. That's the kind of stuff she was exposing. She was murdered with her husband. She had a movie coming out, a documentary. No one ever knows whatever happened to the documentary. But the resignation and him coming down, that there's claims that it was Noah Quattro possible relation, or you mentioned that since you read something, I'd love to know what you talked about. Also, that he was fired for targeting black, disproportionately black people. But you don't get in that high rank class unless you're basically Freemason gang. You're a gangbanger. You gangbang. It has nothing to do with I care about kids. He did nothing for he did nothing for the 800 foster kids missing in LA. That's the biggest scandal in the United States regarding foster care, and there's estimated 18,000 missing in the U.S. But there's so much more, over 100,000, the last 20 that nobody knows where they are. The checks just keep going out. These adoption checks, the black market, the new name, the new social, the VIN. They've stripped you of all your identity, your culture, your family. They're marketing you online. They're putting your picture online for anyone who wants to see you around the world. Anyone with a 68
face child. Yep.
Face child. So yeah, it's the largest scandal, most disgusting thing that could ever be happening. Nancy Schaefer called it out. They have to destroy the family unit. This is the New World Order in full effect. They've been doing it for decades. And they're just accountable to no one. It has nothing to do with child abuse. Neglect is a criminal matter. They never put it in a criminal court because they can't have two courts going at one time. Could you imagine?
Right.
So it's a criminal matter. Should always be criminal. But it's get that birth certificate. They have quotas. Nancy Schaefer mentioned quotas per population, estimated number of adoptions based on how many people live in a certain area. This is a very deep state operated, $100 billion a year. But the damages it causes, the repetition, it creates the biggest monsters you've ever seen, the most drugged out, craziest, lunatic children that mature out. They turn 18. They're the killers of tomorrow, the stranglers of tomorrow, the people you want to hate tomorrow. But that's all part of the failure industrial complex. That's what this is all about. This is a war. And their most powerful tool is CPS. CPS took Megan Walsh's children. Megan Walsh, daughter of John Walsh, took her children, her 4 children. John Walsh, America's Most Wanted, takes his own grandkids from a loving, caring, most bonded mother you could ever have. And they're targeting. You used him as a weapon, right? So, and he's National Center Missing and Exploited, and he never talks about foster kids on any of these National Center Missing and Exploited programs. At foster, we have a crisis. There's 18,000 missing. They won't even put foster care on the National Center Missing and Exploited website. They just say in care, but they're all part of it. It's just know that it's the most powerful people in the world. It's an agenda to destroy, to drug, to traffic, sex traffic, also everything you could possibly imagine with the business of human trafficking children and just destroying families, relatives, cultures. It's created by the most deviant people in the world, and everybody that's out there that claims to be anti-child abuse, anti-child trafficking, all you got to do is listen to them. And if they're not doing what Nancy Schaefer said, take the money off their head, put it in a criminal court, let cops do their job. We don't need CPS. Let there be some evidence, give them a trial. You're going to terminate rights. Really basic principles that aren't being followed. And if no one's talking about that, there's nobody really focusing on it's just, you can't be a high ranker. And most of them are frauds or controlled operative groups, Veterans for Child Rescue. He does a state of the world of child trafficking and goes all around the world when, there's a massive amount of people have approached him and cried, Greg Sawyer, they're taking our kids. It's unconstitutional. I didn't have a chance. There's no trial. They said whatever they want, railroaded. He can't talk about it, but he knows he did leak in an interview that there's no integrity in the government, that the FBI, the CIA, they have no connection. NSA have no connection to the president. They're completely separate. He has no control over them. And if you could imagine if a president had control over those agencies and the directive of those agencies with people with integrity, that all of this could be eliminated. But again, he goes around the world to talk about child trafficking when it's right there in his backyard, Arizona. And that, he did a Contraland movie for 2 hours and doesn't talk about foster care, adoption, knowing it's 80-90% child sex traffic, child porn market in the U.S.
Wow. Now, Fighting Mom, what was she saying earlier? Did you say that you read something? You were reading something, right?
Oh, yes. I was reading my form. Basically, where I was, and that's a big if. CSW in the violation of my rights under CRC 5.674 to cross-examine the CSW who prepared each report filed in the court. The lawyer also breached his duty under WIC 317E. Under WIC 317E, they have to cross-examine the CSW at every hearing. So every status review hearing you guys have, that social worker needs to be cross-examined. So under WIC 317E, the lawyer must cross-examine the CSW at the jurisdiction in a dispositional hearing. Under CRC Rule 5.674, parents have an absolute right to cross-examine the preparer of each report filed in court. We never waived our right. All the minute orders in the cases prove, we were never advised of any of our rights to cross-examine the CSW. None of them testified. The court sustained all these false perjury petitions based on false statements that would have not been sustained had we been afforded our statutory rights under CRC 5.674 to cross-examine the CSW. Most shockingly, we was not even advised that I had a right to cross-examine the CSW by the courts or by our attorneys. And no one never asked us to waive CRC 5.674, nor did we ever waive 5.674, nor did we sign a JV 190, nor did the court follow the court rules 5.682. Or, let us know on the record that we understood the nature of the allegations and the consequences of not cross-examining the social workers.
Did you know that the average...
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I was trying to find a section of the video. But that's crazy. They don't even tell people none of this in court.
No, and we don't know our rights. So we just go in there, okay, they say, oh, just do what they tell you to do and you'll get your kids back. And, just do these classes and these drug tests, and they were falsely, accusing parents of missing tests, positive tests, and if we have positive tests, you don't get your kids back, and they force us to go to their specific locations.
Right.
So, they come out clean, they come out dirty. We don't know, so all of us, they just laugh at us. They discourage us. When you go down to the clerk's office and you file your documents, they discourage parents. They tell them that they cannot file documents. They cannot do this. They don't have this form. So you really have to be stern and, basically force them to get your paperwork and know your rights and let them know, because they will tell you, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. Like I went up there with one parent and the clerk told her, she just had court, and the clerk told her that the minute order is not in the computer. Okay. So I guess he thought she was going to be a dummy and walk off. Mm-hmm. No, she needs to access the online portal regardless of what you're saying, Mm-hmm. She looked on a portal. The court documents are already on there.
Wow.
They lie and they don't want to give parents their documents. You have to file court orders to get confidential attachments. You have to do a whole lot, and you are the parent, and you have a right to have every piece of document in your case.
So I got a question. How do we stop something like this?
We stand up and we don't sip their Kool-Aid no more. And we fight back. And we get to
it's going to take more than just one or two people. We're going to have an army.
Yeah, we need to contact the state legislators, because whatever happened in 1994 is happening still now.
Right.
The social workers were filing perjury, and the lawyers were not cross-examining the social workers. Mm-hmm. And everybody's just going buck wild. It's like they're like drunk monkeys with guns around the world.
Right. It's true.
With our children and telling us what to do, how to do it. And it doesn't even matter if you do the classes or not. Their plan is to adopt your child out or legal guardianship. So when you sign that JV 190, that's what it means. Complete the classes. And for whatever reason, if you don't complete the classes, then your kid will get adopted or legal guardianship.
Yeah, Susan Bassey is very good. I was just answering somebody here in the question section.
I spoke with her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I spoke with a lot of players. They too much don't care because everybody got their hand in the pot,
Right.
So we as parents, we need to stand up, and we need to be at them board of supervisors, at them capital offices to show up and let them know, hey, we know what's going on. Right. And it needs to end now. You guys are getting federal funding just to steal our kids. They get $2.9 billion.
Jeez. You have a question on
this parking cost?
Right. There's a question for you on the screen.
Okay,
can you see it?
Yeah, yes. Put your email. I'll put your email in the chat.
Ruben, if you could put your email in the chat, I'll highlight your comment. That way she can see your email.
And he can send it to me too. But it's 32. Sorry, I ain't watching the chat, y'all. But yeah, it's we have to stand up, and there's no more being scared or feared. We have to shut these people down, and it has to be parents protecting children.
I just wanted to, can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Clear. Just that we're at a state where there's a big wake up call. Everybody looking over their shoulder, like what's really going on with the government. What's lots of questions. So this is the great wake up. It's either a wake up or a great get in line and don't do what you're told. So I've been waiting for this event that we needed a wake up call, that they're abusing children, the mask thing, all that stuff. It's child abuse. It's psychological warfare, what it's doing, the damage it's doing. But that we're at a different point than we were before COVID, co-crack. I'm sorry. So I wanted to emphasize that, and that we're the founders of the foster war. And so we emphasize, if we could get auditors to like audit foster traffickers, that foster care is child trafficking. They're already trying to change the name, resource parent. That they are the Achilles heel because they're the revolving door. There's no such thing as a good one when this system is in place, period. And that you have to get it across that the blood of all these children that we profile on our .com website, the tpsnewsnetwork.com, that there's just hundreds of children murdered. No one's doing anything. This is business as usual. It's working perfectly. It's not broken. It was created to do this. It's created to make money. The Bar Association, the lawyers, but that the wake-up calls here, and that the foster traffickers, identify them. And could you imagine videos going where foster parents are, there's somebody knocking at their door, it's a crowd of people, they're holding candles, they're singing, anything, but it's impactful stuff. And you have to make them uncomfortable. And because outside of that, there's not a lot you can do with these meetings, these board meetings. I've been in these trenches for 8 years now. There's nothing gives. There, it's great speeches, lots of silence on the stage. They just sit there, and these so-called reps, but they cannot do anything. They're in on it. They're complicit. They don't care. That's
You're
not
absolutely right.
It's not their duty. They don't care. They cannot, whether they want to willingly or actively engaged. It's us against you, and we have to make these people uncomfortable. And the best people that people have is to knock on these people's doors. I mean, if they had your dog, would you knock on their door? I mean, you have my little dog. I mean, they have these children that, if the parents have not committed a crime, the children need to be returned, period. That's foster war.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah. And it's very simple. There has to be a crime, has to be evidence. And in over 90%, there's no evidence of a crime. There's no charges. Less than 3% of parents are supposedly charged. And that the foster traffickers, child trafficking, put them in the hot seat. They're all complicit. The good ones get out. And basically, we want to eliminate foster care. We don't want it the way it is. We don't want strangers' homes. It never worked. You've seen the death trail. We profile it, the pedophile trail, the rape trail. It never worked. And we need Nancy Schaefer resource centers for the 10% that actually need services. So that would be 10% of 500,000, 50,000 across 50 states, where they're club resorts for children. And they bond with other kids. They make the best lifelong friends with other children in the most undrugged environment, in the most supervised environment. Give them what they need, a freaking sanctuary, not a stranger's home that's trafficking them for money and looking at you crazy over the table. It's like,
right.
If you've ever been in those situations where you've been to a foster home, it's creepy, it stinks, it's not normal. It's total displacement. And that's the place you put an so-called abused child. No, they need resorts where they're highly protected, and that strangers' homes never worked. And to eliminate it as we know it, and give them resource centers, and for Child Protective Service to go out and facilitate people delivering food, delivering pillows, clothing, socks, anything they need. That's a protective service, not a child trafficking. We don't get a dime until we pull the kid.
Yeah, they don't want to help with the housing. Parents, I have numerous parents that did not have housing, and they cannot take your kid because you're homeless.
Placing children 10 times more dangerous. The horrific, you'll never hear more horrific cases. We cover them all. We have photos, 700 photos on our homepage at our .com. But that the stories, the killers it creates, the drugging, the mayhem, the profits, It's a perfect system of war. It's a straight up freaking war. Yeah. So
there's a question on the screen. Not trying to cut nobody off. What happens when you decline to answer the door? Will it be used against the parent?
Oh, they'll try to say they're doing a safety thing and surround your house with 20 cops, depending on what they want to do. You know the crisis actors, the cops. Well, we hear people inside and nobody's answering. You never know what they'll do, and they'll take it to that level. I've had it happen. You know,
and that's if you don't answer. But what if you answer the door, and you have your phone and you're recording them, and you let them know to leave, to piss off? They don't have a search warrant. They can't enter your premises. They can't come in. What happens next?
Yeah,
I had a social worker scream at me at my door and said, "Let me see your baby. Let me see your baby. Take off his diaper. You have a case." I said, "You ain't coming in my house being angry like that." No, the hell you not. You look like you finna kill me. So I didn't let him in, and I thought he was gonna come back with the police. But I have cameras, so I sent that to everybody in the world.
Right.
And they said, "I'm not no dog. Don't treat her like that." You know, it's very scary. And I'm a woman home by myself with my baby, and I have a white man coming to my home and screaming and hollering and telling the whole neighbors, my whole building, that I have an open CPS case.
Wow.
You know,
yeah, that's insane.
Scary.
Yeah,
it's scary. You know, some of the workers don't even do the house visits. You know, they're in violation of a lot of things, and we as parents need to wake up and don't stay down to the bottom. We all fall, but we need to get up and stand up for our children and fight for our children, because this is still going to be going on. If we don't stand up, it's going to happen to their children.
Right.
It's happening now with the medical mandates. So everyone got their pressure on.
I'm trying to tell people the same thing you're saying right now. Mm-hmm. They're going to use these mandates to remove your kids.
Yep.
And it's coming. It's already happening in Australia. Other countries right now are going to war, literally going to war. They're not protesting. They're out there fighting, spilling blood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right now, while we're on this live stream, they're out there at war. It's crazy what's happening right now.
Could you imagine being a child growing up, witnessing what they witnessed, the mask thing, the differentiation, how it affects them? It's just a very difficult time to be a child. They're crippling all of our movement.
It's happening.
What to expect, total fear. Yeah, it's a fear campaign. And I don't know, 5G's kicking in on the 16th, 5 more days. Oh, but they won't have no 5G access at LAX or Burbank Airport because it affects the instrument panels. Well, what the hell do you think it's going to do to the people?
Tell me about it. So if you guys not trying to cut you, I'm sorry about that. If you guys don't know this already, you guys, it's hard for me to say this word. Kazakhstan. Kazakhan. Kazakhstan. You guys look up what's going on over there. The people are at war. And the news lied and said, "Oh, well, it's because of the gas prices went up." No, these people weren't allowed to get into their bank accounts if they were unvaccinated. So now they're at straight up all out war. You better look it up because it's happening right now. There's videos all over the place surfacing everywhere. In Australia, is there anybody from Australia here on this live stream right now? If there's somebody from Australia in here, please join on the link because we want to hear from you. I've seen it. I've seen multiple. I know people out there sending me videos of their children being removed from their homes. Why? Because they don't have the V. And I already know YouTube is probably going to get mad and try to take this video down because they don't want nobody speaking out against it or speaking the truth about it. And it's sad, man, because it's coming here. You'll see it's coming here. There's a bunch of little things that they're trying to pass right now. And it's coming. It's on the way, folks. So be ready.
I just envision people protesting at foster parents' homes across the nation, and it becomes like a new thing where the doors open and the children are released, and the tears that flow from the families as they're reunited.
Right.
It can have an effect that can change things, and it's grassroots. But that's like we've seen audits how it affects cops, their interactions. They do change. I think it's been getting better in some way. It's not as bad as it was years ago, but that's a powerful mechanism. But to what if once one of the cases like that happens, that, oh my God, did you see what happened? And then there's a little story, no crime, and they took the kids. There was no crime. How can that happen? It's
right.
And the hugging and the tears and hold your teachers. We got to educate our kids to protect themselves, to be quiet, to not talk to anybody without you present. But to hold the preachers, there's no good preachers. Anyone who says that they care about children and are on top of this, when it's the epicenter of all war crimes on children and families is foster care, adoption, and the racket and everything that it produces. It's the epicenter of the destruction and control, and the most heinous crimes are happening, and more now with the poverty war, with that induction and inducing poverty, breaking up families. It's just a scary time in history, and thank God that we're here to express ourselves and share and alert. We all have a duty. Understand the duty that once you've seen this, you go to our website. Why are not reporters contact me? Oh my God, you put those 700 pictures on your homepage. It looks like a child traffic ring. Oh my God, all those rapists, they're giving kids to those people. They're paid government agents. All those predators, all those kids were murdered. You're no way. Yes. And what, it's my phone should be ringing off the hook. Talk to us. What's really going on? It doesn't. It doesn't. And because there's I've never seen a page like that for whatever it's worth. And once you see it, we all should be calling 911. It looks like a child traffic ring. They're government paid pedophile rapists, serial rapists all across America. There's at least 200 to 300 of them. And what we've posted, this is stuff we've posted, and the images of all the children, and it's working perfectly. Big money, big lawsuits. Don't think lawsuits bother them because it's a racket between the attorneys and the government, and it's a racket to pull the money out with the bar, with those attorneys. So it's a beautiful war machine. It's their crown jewel. It's their most powerful weapon against the destruction and to break down the society as we know it. To cripple the growth. They don't want strong America, period.
They don't. Nope. That's true. That is true. Did you want to add to anything, Freddie, Mom?
No, I'm good. Y'all said it all, I just hope that we can stand together and take these people down and stand up for our rights, and we've got to get the protesting everywhere. And I am going to support Consuelo because she is right. Nobody having a trial on demand.
Yeah, no. And that's, so I think I have that here on the video. I tried to get to the part when she walked outside. I was going to let everybody, check out this part right here real quick before we go any further. That way you guys can hear the conversation between her and some cop, some deputy sergeant up here, and how she's telling them I was not given a fair trial. So for the people that didn't get a chance to see this video, I'm gonna play it now, just some of it, if you guys don't mind. Did you guys have anything else you want to say before I let this play? Or CPS, you good? Or
it's a pleasure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. CPSNewsNetwork.com, CPS News Network page, Facebook. Lots of good videos. Been spending lots of time on it, and just the most powerful videos you can find if you go to our videos on the Facebook page. view them. Good viewership, and that we have to make these people uncomfortable. These foster parents need to be looking at the window. Are they coming to our house next? Oh my God, there's a group of 10, 20 people, and they're with candles, and they're talking to all the neighbors, and this van pulls up, free the children.
Right.
It can
you can hang out. You can hang out here with us if you want. I'm just gonna play the video real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, here we go. Let's play this video.
Let me go to the balcony and see what they need. Hold on.
I talked to someone on the phone. They said they could give you a court date on Monday. And I have paramedics here. If you would come down now and let us.
But Kane stays with me. No, he stays with me.
No, but the paramedics need to check them out.
They can come up. Just one.
No, we can't. You need to come down.
Just one can come up and check us both. Check us both. Just one. I will.
Come halfway down the stairs.
No. The only way I come halfway down the stairs is with my firearm on my side too. That's the only way I'm coming downstairs is if my firearm is with me. I don't trust you guys. I don't trust you. Like, so if you guys do want to come up and check him, then one of the paramedics can come up. I will let him in.
Did you guys just hear that? So you got this deputy downstairs. Here, hold on. Let me get past this. Saying that, yeah, we could get you in on Monday. We could get you in on Monday and blah, 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 blah. Can you guys hear the video? You guys in the chat, can you guys hear the video? Press 1, please. Yeah, and she was live as well. I just want to make sure you guys can hear the video that's playing before we push play again. All right, cool. Here we go.
And but only if he stays. I need to have a paper that says he stays with me. Like the baby stays with Consuelo until she gets her fair trial. I wish all 3 of them can stay with me, but
They're talking about that you need the court date on Monday. Today's Thursday.
No, but he stays with me. He stays with me until Monday then. He stays with me. He stays. He's not leaving.
Well, what if you come down?
If they want to put an ankle bracelet on me until then, I will. Like, I won't go anywhere. Like, he'll stay here with me. Like,
You come down with him, and we'll discuss it with them. See if possibly.
no, now is the time to discuss it. How long have we been here, Ken? Remember I told you you're wasting your time trying to find an end to it when you should be seeing how it started. Once you guys dig deep to how this started, that's how it'll end. If you guys are just trying to end it, it's not going to end.
You guys hear this, right?
Yep.
You guys, everybody in the chat, you guys can hear exactly what she's saying. So
it's going to keep going. You guys should have. Yes. And why are they refusing to work with me? Like, why? What did I do? Because they don't want to admit, the system doesn't want to admit that they were wrong? It is that though, Ken, because all they have to do is like, okay, give Consuelo her baby and let's trial her. Let's put her on trial. Give her her children. Let her keep her children. Give her a court date. Give her a trial. If she's proven guilty, take her children.
And that's how the law usually works, right? Fighting Mom, CPS, you guys there?
Yes, that's how they work.
That's how it's supposed to work. They didn't give her none of that.
They violated her rights. She's just asking for a fair trial, and you have a right to have a fair trial.
Absolutely.
And cross-examine whoever prepares a report.
And they didn't do that for her at all. So what they did was they sent out their henchmen to go over there to the apartment And they had the little news agencies out here all running around saying, "Oh, it's a big old hostage. She has the kid hostage." That's her child that they kidnapped from her. And then they're coming back to kidnap him again and put her in jail. And yes, now she's facing 11 years for it.
That's all I want, Ken. Like
The issue with court is
the issue with court or the issue with our law, the issue with our system.
the court system.
Right.
The problem is a lot of people have courts set up, so they can't. So people.
And I'm not asking them to do anything. And other people's problems are priority. This is
You're asking them to.
no, I'm not asking anyone. I'm not asking anyone to sacrifice anything. Like
She's asking to follow the law.
Squeeze you in to prosecute. They're able to squeeze you in on Monday.
no, but he stays with me. Like he stays with me until I'm proven guilty. They can squeeze me in all they want on Monday. That doesn't give me the answer I need.
But that you would have to.
Why doesn't the district attorney want to talk to me?
Look at the comment. You see, look at this comment. You're about to, that she's going to get sniped.
Yeah, it was just people that were making me.
But they were
angry.
literally downstairs with the sniper rifle behind a bush. I got them on film. They were going to shoot her dead.
For her
Obviously,
child.
they know what's
Huh?
No, I said for her child.
For her child. They were willing to kill her.
going on. So why don't they? Why don't they? Do you guys know why? Why I've been asking for them to call out the district attorney. I've been asking them to call up their higher ups, and they don't. Like, I've asked them, like, if everyone, you guys are saying that every.
As a matter of fact, I heard the district attorney in Lancaster didn't even pick up the case. After all of this stuff right here, the DA in Lancaster didn't pick it up. It was the DA down in downtown Los Angeles that decided to pick it up. And I'm pretty sure I'm right about what I heard. So,
Oh wow!
yeah.
So that means we have to mob up to this DA and let him know she has support, and this is what's going on in these CPS cases, and they need to be brought to trial, to court, and facing 11 years and 40 years and 50 years and more on.
Right. Absolutely. You know, this night when this was happening, I was tripping out on all the hateful messages she was getting. There was actually people wishing her dead for standing up for her child. Puppets. These people, there's a lot of people out here that are just puppets.
Yeah, because people don't know, because they're not going through it. Until you go through it, then you will understand everything. What she is saying is the truth, People thought I was crazy. My family thought I was crazy. Oh, do the classes. No. I'm telling y'all what's going on. Nobody believed me. So I had to educate myself so that I can come up off top and let them know this is what's going on. So I started exposing more and more and doing stuff and, showing my kids I'm not never giving up on y'all. I've done everything they asked me to do, drug tests, every single thing.
Right.
And they're still keeping the cases open, but because it's federal funding.
Right. Now, I know I heard some folks, and I just seen a comment in here right now where someone said, well, she had a firearm, and that's the reason why they had a sniper out there.
She had a right to bear arms if
she has a right to bear arms. That's what the Constitution says. And you have the right to protect what's yours.
Especially at your own home.
Yep.
I was told that I cannot record in my home by my commissioner. I was told I cannot record. I cannot record outside. I cannot record the social workers. I cannot record the man that strangled me. I can't do anything. Basically.
That's crazy. That's another violation of civil rights. That's crazy.
But just take the abuse. That's what they're doing to parents. They're just do the classes. and you won't get your kids back. So Consuelo is telling the truth. We're not getting no trials on the merits and able to present our evidence and fight for our children.
Okay, I just went back and read your comment again. So this is the comment here. Because she says she would carry her firearm. Then did they get a sniper? Oh, no, they were already out there for a hostage situation. They were saying that she took her child hostage. And that's what came over the scanner as well. So let me hit play. We don't have that much more to watch.
Everyone's watching, you know, I'm on the news, then that means that the judge is watching, and that means that the district attorney is watching. Why don't they come out here? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Will you at least bring your son down so we can have paramedics look at him?
No, he's sleeping. You really want me to wake him up and bring him down to the cold? He's sleeping.
Okay. If you guys haven't watched this video, it's on the channel. There's 2 different parts. But that's pretty scary, right? Wasn't given a fair trial, no trial at all. And then when she decided, you know what, I'm taking back what's mine. That's my son. That's it. She decided to make a stand right then and there. And they used the goons. We got to send him out there as a hostage. We got to get the kid out of there. She's crazy. She's bipolar. Like, I heard all kinds of stuff while I was out there. And that is crazy, guys.
And she seemed pretty calm to me in her right state of mind. She wants
absolutely
a trial.
Yep.
And she has a right to cross-examine anybody. We have a right to cross-examine anybody that prepares a report and file it in court. If not, everything on that report is true.
Absolutely.
And we lose our kids.
Crazy. Someone, you know what? Let me go back and read through the comments. I remember seeing a comment right now about something about welfare, and once you're in the welfare system, it's like you're signing your rights over to the state.
Yeah, and if you have another baby, they'll come and try to take that baby. They're falsifying documents. They're doing a whole lot. Yeah.
And I just got a notification from YouTube.
So, yeah, hold law enforcement accountable, being unconstitutional. Really get that out there. Hammer that home. It's unconstitutional what they're doing. It's unconscionable, unconstitutional. It's a violation of religious rights, humanitarian rights, everything. It's against everything that supposedly we have protections for to protect us. And that to shame them, that shouldn't they be doing something else? Shouldn't they be on every car? There should be missingkidsla.org. Help us find 800 missing foster kids. Shouldn't there be doing more things than trying to pull somebody over with 2 cops, one on each side of the car for a tail light out or any little thing like that? Shouldn't they be doing something really freaking important? And there's nothing more important than having 800 missing that they could find. They have the technology. Yeah. Where's the special victims unit? Why has no news agency in the United States covered the 800 missing foster kids at missingkidsla.org? No agency.
You know what? I've been going around to, have you seen those videos, man? I've been going around to those DCFS buildings asking them these questions, and they've been pretty much shutting me down every time I go out there.
Clear. Yes. Yeah. But news agencies, you'll see a bunch of them down there for Britney Spears, a big Illuminati puppet. But, you'll see a whole collage of them, hundreds of them. But they won't go 2 miles to find about why there's 800 missing. No news agency will cover this. Understand the raps and the control they have over all news agencies. Every paper, nothing has ever been like, why is there all these babies on there that are 3 weeks old, Legend Young, a baby named Legend Young, 3 weeks. Why are they runaways? Why are they listed as runaways? And that, I wanted to say one more thing real quick. I'll probably be my last thing, but that there's a statute of limitations open for people that have been abused. that it's good for 3 years. It ends this year. So get your civil rights lawsuit if you've been abused sexually in any way, shape, or form by any foster agencies, adoption agencies. I was able to connect a woman, a victim, with an attorney. She's been offered $1 million in 6 months. Okay, it can happen, and it's because these people need facilitation. They need to communicate with people. They need people. They're in the dumps. They're scattered. They're taking their children. You know, she's a victim at 4, and then they're taking her kids. So know that there's a window that's going to be ending this year for the statute of limitations that increased victims like 20 or 30 years. So it made her eligible, and that it's working, and to give these people hope and reach out, and the littlest thing you can do can really
and that goes back how far?
This was 94. She testified in 2010 in the same case against for another child, but she wasn't eligible for anything in 2010. But because of the limitations, that's open for 3 years, a 3-year window. I let her know. I reached out for her. I was contacting ATs, and we got it to happen. They took it, and they're already making offers. And it's just a beautiful thing. It's the most beautiful thing you could ever do.
I might need that too because of what happened to me when I was younger.
Yeah, we have it. Boy Scouts, foster care, adoption, line it up. It's a huge window. Like I said, she wasn't out. She was like 8 in 94, 8, and in 10 testified, not eligible, but testifying for some other kid that was abused in the same situation. So you never know people. Yeah, but these are the same people that are struggling for their kids because they come after their kids, right? Victims in the system, and then when they have kids, they come and get all those too.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a vicious cycle.
and they're fighting for their kids. They're brokenhearted, but they need support. We all need support.
Absolutely, and the hospitals are a part of it too. They are calling DCFS. You know, so we have to be careful at these hospitals having our babies too as well. They tried to steal my baby, but it didn't go down how they thought it was going to go down because I was prepared. So yeah, everybody needs to be held accountable. Everybody is working together. The police, the hospitals, the social workers, everybody is working together. So
be a speaker. If I can inspire one person out there, be a speaker like Fighter Mom or myself, but be a speaker. You'll get better at it. Right. And you'll have a voice that it becomes very powerful because you've been so long in the trenches, and you just it's like singing. The more you sing, you're going to get better. The more you play an instrument, the more you preach.
Absolutely. I've been beat up, dragged, strangled, kicked, thrown, you know, and I never gave up because these are my kids. You know, I'm the only one that can be their mother, and I'm the only one that can fight for them. You know, so it's time to stand up. It ain't no more laying down and crying. You know, I turned my crying into educating myself. So I'm very passionate, you know, on just taking in and learning everything. So, you know, we do have our days. We do get sick. We don't want to be bothered. But just know you're not alone. Just pick yourself up and know that we putting protesters together. We need to keep our foot on their necks. And don't let up.
Cross-examine those social workers. Get that stuff on court record.
Social workers.
Court record is everything.
And get all your documents from the court case. And you can go to the courthouse and look on the computer and access the online portals. And that way you can see everything that has been filed on your case. These clerks will be rude and all that. Be professional. Be bubbly. You have a right to get any documents, and you have a right to a fee waiver.
Yeah, the social worker, our case, telling the district attorney in the lobby, district attorney saying, I need to know why you took the 5 kids. He said, I don't remember. He said, he's the social worker saying, you don't remember why you took the 5 kids. And then the district attorney saying, look, I'm the boss here. I need you to tell me why you took those kids. He goes, I don't remember. Subpoena it from my department. This is the kind of corruption we're dealing with, that they don't want to put these kidnapping fabricating. They're fabricating removal orders. They're anything goes. Understand that anything, paperwork, altering, fabrication, fraud, kidnapping, they'll make up everything afterwards. Take the kids and make up everything afterwards. Anything can go, and just know that they'll all stick to each other when it comes time. The cops will all work together to justify their kidnapping. These are terrorist kidnappings by fraudulent document, a court order. Well, a good person that follows the Constitution. Well, you have evidence of a crime with that, right? No, I don't. Well, how can I take these kids if there's no evidence of a crime? Well, the judge said so. I don't care what that judge says. If you don't have evidence of a crime, these kids are going nowhere. And that's how these cops need to get their act together and follow the Constitution. And, it comes down to that. And with the military, same way. And that there's no integrity. There's no integrity. And
yeah,
people...
you absolutely right. Because the one cop told me, I think it was a sergeant, he told me that you're not going to get justice because Gascon is in the office and they like the Jackie Lacey better.
Oh.
So I might have to end up like Gabby Petito in order to get justice, he told me.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's beyond Gascon. Yeah, they're all just puppets. None of them will enforce the freaking Constitution. So get the hell. Yeah. So that's the bottom line, is that it doesn't matter who's in there. The agenda still keeps going. The money, the funding, the accountable to no one. They can go
the domestic violence people, they do not help domestic violence survivors. They're collecting federal funding and, basically just like, we can't help you, basically, you're just stuck where you at, and it's just very sad that everybody's, just gave up on the people and our rights.
Yeah, it's true, man. I'm over here reading through the comments.
Yeah, so about 11 months to follow your civil lawsuit. Anybody been abused by Boy Scouts, Club Scouts? I know of two people that are they're already making offers, like $750, $850 out of a boys YMCA case, but there's the other case, the CPS case. Within 4 to 6 months, they could be making offers to settle. So things can come quickly, and just that it's thank God that I was there and I listened to her and I opened up to her and I spoke to her and she told me this, and I said, well, you qualify, and I looked for her and it all linked up, and they're already making offers. So
yeah, good job, Ashley. Thank you for joining us. We have somebody new here in the lobby, guys. If you guys can, just give her a warm welcome. And she said for 1.5 years, she went without her baby and cried herself to sleep every night. Had I not prevailed, there's no telling where I would be now. So if you guys can, let Ashley know. Welcome.
Pleasure.
I do appreciate all you guys over here. For some reason, I got a notification from YouTube that said something about guidelines. So hopefully they don't try to knock us off the podcast. But, if they do, then we'll be live again tomorrow. If they do. Somebody wants to know what books they should start in. What books should we be getting our hands on? Brenda D, as far as learning rights, how to, fight back with DCFS, the courts and stuff like that. You have any suggestions?
Clear. I don't know. Culture. I'm sorry to interrupt, but Culture of Fear, Julian Dominguez, 20-year worker, Culture of Fear, just how corrupt they are. He explains how corrupt they are. They make stuff up. That everything's just cookie cutter. They'll use other case documents with your documents, and that you don't really know who's playing the game above you to traffic, and whatever they hand the social worker is what they hand to the judge, and that these are called ghostwriters. So just that's one book, Culture of Fear. Go ahead.
Culture Affair
Of fear.
of fear. Culture of fear. Okay. Family court deem me on a D. If anybody else wants to join the panel, feel free to do so. If you want to, tell your story and what happened with your case involving the courts, feel free to do so now. The more you talk about it, the more we can educate others and get, answers and solutions that we can come up with.
Comes down to court.
To start helping each other, because that's what we need to do. We need to all come together as one.
Yeah. My advice is if you can leave the freaking town, the city, depending on how you're targeted. It depends on who you are, where you live, how bad they want you, the beauty of your kids, how many there are. There's all sorts of things. Take your stuff off of Facebook. Don't put anything on Facebook. Don't engage with that it's all being used to target and harvest, and there's people out there that will make a fake call on you because they like your kid and to get him in the system. You can't trust anything anywhere, and that Facebook has literally been selling user data to Cambridge Analytics for foster care investigations. We've covered that. We've talked about it.
I heard about that.
It's called Cambridge Analytica. Look it up. Youth Today, Cambridge Analytica, foster care. Replay this video, but you can look it up, and it's an article. It was being sold for child abuse investigations, your Facebook data, giving you a risk score. But to know how corrupt they are, and that if you can leave the city, the state, anything, go. Leave. Don't, because it depends on how vulnerable you are. They'll eat you like a piece of meat, depending on where you live, how you look, the beauty of your kids. You don't know. I mean, the social workers will look at your kids like pieces of meat, literally. I've
seen them do that before.
I've seen them. They're pedophiles. They'll look at them straight up, all the way up,
and they ask to take a picture of your baby.
Yep.
And post them up to God knows who for sale.
To look up and down at your kid like a piece of meat. I've seen it. And so to know how corrupt they are, to leave if you can. Don't answer the door and just leave, and don't engage them, and it will go away. It'll fall off though. That unless because if it's serious, the cops will be there, right? But if it's not an emergency, find a way to leave for 3 to 6 months, and don't engage them. It's so risky depending on how vulnerable you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're all vulnerable because we don't
Ashley,
know our
I just posted the link. Just click on the link in the chat and it'll bring you right in.
We don't know our rights, but we have to educate ourselves. And I want to, this just made me check in school, to learn everything that I need to learn. And I got a beautiful superwoman, just awesome. Thank God for her. But, we have to stand up and we have to learn these things. And I'm trying to think like where the legislative, you can go there, Google that up. It should pop up of the WIC codes, DCFS WIC codes, juvenile case. You have to just be proactive in your case. And the SDM safety assessments, to do a structured decision-making protocol, which lets you know if the kid is safe, if they have adequate food, clothing, and things like that.
Right.
In order for them to take the kid.
I'm going to get Ashley in here real quick. She's
Go ahead.
I
got to do
back
something.
real quick. Just hold on real fast. Okay, Ashley, welcome. You are live.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, is there static on y'all's end? A little static on mine.
There's some static.
There is, okay. So you can hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of sounds a little like a robot, but you're okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave out and call back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. So something's going on with that connection, but she'll be right back. Mm, did you have to say? Did you want to say anything else, Fighting Mom, or? Heather Williams says, I could tell they wanted my baby boy, brown hair, hazel eyes, half white and Hispanic, handsome little guy. That's crazy how they look at our kids like they're meat. Like, oh, I wonder how much we could get for this little blonde hair, blue eyes, or this little mixed breed child right here. Oh, we could get enough money for this one. And they have codes. These people have codes. Let me have a scoop of chocolate ice cream. She came in and she backed out. There's something going on with her connection. We will be going live again tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to have a lot of stuff to go over with you guys as well. So hopefully, we'll get the same crowd in here again. I know in the morning we'll have a lot more folks tuning in. Some people are in different parts of the country. They're asleep right now. But by the time they wake up, they'll see that the live stream's here and they'll, look over it.
Sure. So yeah, we're all about shutting it down. There's no cure. Put all abuse, neglect cases, criminal court, restore the Constitution, criminal matter. Take the money off their freaking heads, the 100, 200 grand a year to get to traffic. But yeah, shut it down. There's they shouldn't be open. These are terrorist dictator courtrooms. There's nothing legitimate about them whatsoever. They're covert, quasi, in secret, with accountability to no one, incentivized for profit, pedophilia, and the destruction of the family.
Right. Okay, we have Ashley here with us. Ashley?
Hey, okay. I'm
Hey,
so glad that I stumbled across this group. I mean, this is great. You know what I mean?
appreciate you.
It's so hard. Like it's the hardest. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Glad
Yep.
I stumbled across the group
Uh-oh.
because it's this is probably the hardest thing that is, they have your kids in the palm of their hands, and even if you do everything that they want you to do, you could possibly still not get your kids back. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. It's a trap.
So it's definitely a trap. And so I didn't know at the time what I know now. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was to happen again, it wouldn't go the way that it did. Thank God that I had a freaking awesome attorney that was a court appointed attorney, but she hated CPS. And so I mean, man, she gave me money for a down payment on my apartment. She took me to work, until I could get my car. I mean, so this is what
Wow. That's the
happened.
first time you're
Yeah.
hearing something like that about a
And
public defender.
she also
Now, that's a real
yeah,
public defender.
yeah, she gave me a pamphlet too, and I can email it to you. And she gave it to me. She told me not to show them, not to tell anybody that I had it, and it gives you the rundown. Like, when they knock on your door and they say, "Hey, can I see your kid?" If you
Mhm.
let them in, then they have probable cause. So what you tell them is, "Hey, when you get a search warrant or a court order, warrant from the
Exactly.
judge, then I'll do something. Then you know what I'm saying? That way
Right.
you got at least a month, to get your affairs in order, whatever. But we don't know that. We don't know that. So we let them in because of course they say, "Oh, we just want to make sure they're okay." And they come in and they act like they give a fuck about the kids and they don't. And boom, now you're in the system, right? You're trapped. So what
Hmm.
happened to me was I was going to the hospital, going to my doctor's appointments. I don't do drugs at all, but there was
Hmm.
this one time where I couldn't pee, right? So
Hmm.
I'm taking forever to pee. Well, then I finally peed in the cup. I put the cup in the little window, but the cup
Hmm.
did not have my name on it. You know what I'm saying? So I just stick it in there. I figured they knew it was mine. So nothing happens. I have my baby. The day that I have my baby, they say, "Oh, you failed a drug test for marijuana." I'm like, "What? I don't fucking, I don't smoke."
Right.
And so I'm just like, okay. They're like, "Well, can we test his poop?" I was like, "Absolutely. You can test me." They test me. There's nothing in my system. They test him, right? Nothing. So the lady wants me to, she says, well, all you have to do is do, she wanted me to do something, some type of class or something. Well, me, I'm irate, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm cussing, I'm acting a fool in the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you know what? You were late today coming in my office, so I'm just going to file it in court. I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, the hospital, he didn't have anything in his system when I had him, nor did I. This little bullshit drug test from the doctor's office is not real. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I couldn't believe that this was happening to me, right? And
Right.
she was like, all you had to do was be here on time and do this, and I would have closed your case, making me feel guilty for, you know what I'm saying, just being upset. Okay.
Right.
So man, dude, this was the hardest thing that I ever went through because you know what I'm saying? Like, I just had my son, okay? I have a daughter. She was 11 at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, I hadn't had a kid in 11 years, and this was my first boy. Like, I was so happy. And, you know, so they're telling me that I have to move out of the house. I was living with my mom. My mom was sick at the time. So me and my boyfriend, we're living with her. He's paying all the bills. I don't have a job because he didn't want me to work. So because my mom was sick, they wouldn't let my baby stay with her because she didn't have any source of income. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So my best friend, oh God, I went through so much shit. So my best friend, she took my kids from me. You know, even me and her, we had a strained relationship because I felt like, you know, you're not on my fucking side. I don't care if they tell me, hey, you can't have a visit, you can't post a picture, you can't do this. This is my friend, this is my kid, and you're supposed to be my best friend. You know what I mean? But
Right.
whatever. So that's beside the point. So now I have to get my own place. Like I said, I didn't have a job because my boyfriend took care of me, you know. So I got to get my own place. I have to get a job, okay? And I have to go to all these classes, which if and I got to make visits, right? And the visits are probably 30 minutes away from where I was living, right? So I mean, they make it so hard, so hard. Every single night, every single night, I would cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would cry so hard because I just wanted my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just went through so much, you know, it made me strong, you know what I'm saying? But I went through a hard time. Nobody will ever understand. So when I see mothers who don't have support and they lose their kids, my heart breaks for them because it's not right. It
Right.
not only hurts, it hurts the mother, but it hurts the kid. Every time I would have a visit with him and I would hold him, he would just go to sleep. And I know it's because he knows me. You know what I'm saying? He knows that I'm his mom. He knows my smell. And just, God, it was so hard. So I'm doing everything that they want me to do. I've completed all the classes. I have a job. I'm going to visits. I haven't missed a visit. The caseworker that I had was just, she was just horrible, right? But my attorney, like I said, this lady, I will thank God for her forever because she told me the day that we had our like first meeting, she was like, I don't like CPS. I'm not, you know, because me, I'm not even trusting her. You know, I'm thinking everybody's in on this shit.
Right.
And she helped me so much. She gave me the money for the down payment on the apartment. She bought me groceries. She took me to work. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Wow.
so she helped me out. You know, and then I was able to get a car. You know, like everything was working in my favor. So my caseworker, like I said, she was horrible, right? So I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm still thinking in my mind like they're not going to give me my kids. And I told my mom, I said, that if don't give me my kids back, it's over. It's over for me. It is over for me. Like it's over. It is over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's over
Yeah.
for me. So I got a new caseworker at the very end, and I was able to get, whenever they get to come and stay.
Mm-hmm.
So, what it's whatever it's called when they get to come and stay, and back to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, long story short, he got to come, and I just held him. You know what I'm saying? But that year and a half, like, I can never get that back. I can never get that back. You know what I'm saying? And I know
Yeah.
that he's not gonna remember it, but I do. I do remember it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and I'm not trying to cry, but it's he's 6 now, by the way. But so
I mean,
man,
crying
I
doesn't make
know
you
how
weak.
deep it is.
Yeah. Crying does not
I'm
make you
sorry, what'd you
weak, and
say?
you're a very strong person. Crying doesn't make you weak.
I know. I
You're
just
you got to
no, I
remember you're
know. I'm
victorious.
just so when the day that I was having my last court date, right? And I've
Mm.
imagined this time in my head, like I was like, you know what? If I get my kids back, I'm just gonna bawl. I'm just gonna cry my eyes out. But I went in that damn courtroom and I didn't even cry. Like I was just so relieved because I don't know, I can't even explain. Like it's kind of like you have to go through that. It's like a constant monkey on your back, like a it's anxiety all the time because you don't know. I watched one of my close guy friends do everything that he was supposed to do and they still didn't give him his kid back. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when you see a mother who loses her kids, she's different. She is different because it's not supposed to be like that. That's not the way that it's supposed to be. I don't care if they go to a different home, a better home that's got more money. It doesn't matter. They need to be with their moms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't care about the kids. Like they don't. Like I've watched them take a kid from their mom and go take him to somebody else. Like there was one lady that I knew, she lost her kids. Her kids ended up dying in CPS custody because they got in a car accident with the CPS driver. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's my story. I did get my kid back, both of my kids, but it just breaks my heart from other mothers. Like it was very hard for me to watch this video because I know like it's just like an animal in the wild, you know what I'm saying, with their cubs or
Right.
whatever. Like you don't do that. You don't mess with a mother and her kids. So I thank God that I found this group. I don't even know how I stumbled upon it. Like I said, it had to be divine. But I appreciate what
Appreciate
y'all
you.
do. Like it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are doing something great. And to
Yeah,
see
and it's
men
good to
doing this
talk
too.
about
You
it.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good to talk about it, and we love
So
to have you here. Yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to be on
thank you so
anytime
much.
you want. Yeah, for sure. And thank you for sharing
I
everything
would
with
definitely I
with
will
all of us.
definitely be on. Yeah. I
Okay.
appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
for sure. Appreciate you.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna drop.
guys
I'm
show
sorry.
Ashley some love, and thank you for sharing that with all of us because a lot of people need to hear the raw truth how it is.
Yeah. And let me say
Okay.
Absolutely.
something else. Any mother that's going through this right now, because I meet so many young girls that are going through it. Do
Mhm.
it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you don't get your kids back, you have to do it just to say, "Hey, I did it." Because if you don't, it'll eat you up for the rest of your life. I've watched it happen to so many, but you need to just know that they have no rights over your kids. So don't let them in the house. You make them go get legal documentation and you handle it that way, but you don't have to let them in. And those are your
That's right.
kids. You know what I'm saying? God gave you those kids. Those are not anybody else's.
That's right.
So I thank y'all,
That's
and
what I
I'm
keep
gonna
on
drop
trying to
back
tell
down in the
folks.
comments.
Yep. Thank you. We appreciate you too, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley. We appreciate you,
Thank
man.
y'all,
Keep your head
and
up. Thank you
appreciate
so
y'all.
much.
Bye bye.
Um,
Okay,
and
God bless
do
you.
anybody know about the SDM?
No,
Okay.
SDM.
The SDM is a structured decision making protocol. That's what they in your first report. You will read that. They will have that in the first and the second reports. And that is in the 300 WIC B petitions. Um, and those petitions basically say all the, lies on
Mm-hmm.
there. And, they ask us to do all the drug tests and all these things. And everybody is disregarding the SDM structured decision making protocol. Um, we all have our rights, but our rights was never mentioned. We were all denied due process and equal protection of the law. We all were, as a result, we can't get our children home, and instead of due process and equal protection, we were ashamed, embarrassed, lied about, laughed at, and cursed, and forced to give urine samples while being closely observed. Not allowed to speak in court, not allowed to present a defense, not allowed to cross-examine the social workers. The
Mm-hmm.
courts terminate people's rights to reunify with their children and approve guardianship because either we didn't do the classes, or we didn't do the drug test, or we have a mental illness, or we didn't go to pactology. And that is junk science right there. um we never had, and as to the merits of the allegation, there I'm pretty sure there were none. So there probably was some. These allegations were completely made up by the CSW. The sustained charges basically was a mockery of justice and should have been dismissed. But basically the dismissal that we all should be filing, because all these reports are false. Nobody came to testify. Nobody is being put on a witness stand. We're not having a trial. And if we had a chance to cross-examine the CSW, we would have proved that they had no evidence that met the statutory SDM definition. So that would mandating a dismissal of the WIC 300B petition in many other cases. In all substance abuse cases, in the coalition, the shelter that we provided was more than adequate. Our children was well fed, well cared for, including food, clothing. Bottom line, there was no nexus. They have to be a nexus before they can take in any of our cases.
Right.
And the cross-examination of the CSW only take 5 to 15 minutes,
Right.
and would have proved that there was no evidence to support the allegations that we was rendered unable to provide regular care for our children. No nexus, case dismissed. But any competent lawyer would ask the CSW on the witness stand, what was the nexus? What regular care did we fail to provide that put our children in future risk of future harm? They have to find a nexus.
Right.
So they
And they're
want
not doing
to.
none of that.
Yeah, they're just disregarding the SDM structured decision making protocol. They're just violating every policy that they have. Um, they abuse of court's discretion. They use that a lot to give parents unmonitored visits, or maybe unmonitored visits or monitor visits. But yeah, all this stuff is, they need to have a nexus. They need to have a diagnosis, especially if they're saying that you are a substance abuse. If that allegation is with that, with no medical diagnosis consistent with the DSM 5th edition, no nexus, that would have been dismissed at the contested hearing based on the facts that our cases, there was no probability that our kids would be under the court's jurisdiction based on marijuana, because there was no nexus. Again, if we was offered to cross-examine the social
Mhm.
worker, we would have shown that there was no diagnosis and no nexus, and the allegations did not meet the SDM definition. So that would have mandated a dismissal.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have. I'm gonna have Faith. Faith, you're here, right?
Yep.
Faith, go ahead. Did you want to? I know you've been sitting here waiting for a while to say something. Go ahead.
Okay. One of the things about the CPS, you guys, you gotta learn your laws, and I mean learn them fast and hard. They took my kids away for 24 hours, and then they tried to take them away again. I found everything they did wrong, and I told them straight up. One, if you take my kids without my permission again, I will sue not only you, but everybody involved, including the state. Here's why. My kids, I told them what they could have and they couldn't have because my kids were on a special diet because of their health issues. When my kids came back, I had one that wore a diaper for 24 hours. The same diaper that he left with. I marked it. I know better. Number two, my daughter was covered in like candy and all kinds of stuff. Didn't have a bath. Number three, my oldest is not allowed to have sugar or chocolate milk and stuff like that. And they gave it to him. I told them they put my kids at risk for doing things like that. And I started spewing laws left and right. And that's one of the things you got to learn. You know those things and don't let them in your house. I mean, if they're going to take your kids, they're going to take your kids eventually. But understand that you have the right to tell them no. And that's the thing. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. And I mean, I'm really good with the laws. Steve can, AV.WATCHMEN can tell you because I do a lot of our law stuff anyway. But
Yeah.
another thing, TikTok right now, you guys, I'm letting you guys know this straight up because I am literally on TikTok every day. I'm in the middle of like 2 or 3 cases, and only one is actually announced on my channel right now because the rest are pedophiles. They are going into our kids' thing and clicking on it and exposing themselves to the kids, everything. So be careful when you're letting your kids on the social media right now because it is everywhere. And TikTok is the worst. I
But if
mean,
we
we're
don't
trying to
have our
shut down.
kids, we're not in control of our kids. Because my kids,
Truth.
when they left here, they didn't know about no internet. They didn't know about no gangbanging and all these things. Now they know about everything. And I
I
literally had
understand
to
that.
take my daughter's phone because she was talking to older men.
That's what's going on with TikTok. I'm just saying that for
Wow.
everybody to know.
Right.
And those who don't have their kids, then you need to find out what they're allowed and not allowed to do because they're supposed to be protecting our kids, which we all know that's not true. So, but if you find your kids on TikTok or you find them on any channel, I'm telling you guys, go deep diving. Go into TikTok, see if you see your kids, see if you, or even Facebook, any platform, YouTube, all of it. You see your kids using it and there's other older people using it, start screenshotting, start screen recording, and put it down on paper. Everything, every visit, put it down on paper. Take pictures of every time you see your kids, whatever. And if you don't have your kids, and then you're seeing all this, then you can show. So where were you doing the right for my kid, and why are all these older people talking to my kids that I didn't give them permission to talk to?
I see somebody in the chat saying they got Vincent Davis. Do not get Vincent Davis. He will take your money and just leave you hanging. Just has.
Let me see. Oh, right here. Is this the one? Vincent W. Davis?
Yes, he's in LA County. He gets on live and all these things, but I done heard a couple of stories of him taking people money. You know, he just wanted $2,800 just to tell you what to do. You know,
Yeah, that's
and he
common.
see what's going on. He know what's going on. You know, these lawyers knows what's going on. Some of them are afraid to even.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She wrote,
up.
he took my money.
Oh wow, yeah, he's a crook, and I just didn't trust it. and I would not trust
That is
anybody else.
crazy. We have
Also,
not trying to cut
oh,
nobody off, but we have another person that's been sitting here for about
I'm
20
about to get
minutes.
off. Can I finish really quick because
Yeah,
it
go
has to
ahead.
do with the lawyer thing? Anytime, actually not the lawyer, but the signing document. If you are signing document and you do not agree to the document that you're signing and you're being forced to sign, make sure you write, I do not agree. And then whatever you don't agree, put it on there. If it's the whole paperwork, put a line from the top all the way to the bottom to where you sign and draw a line on the side of the paperwork from the vertically up and down and then across. And then that way it shows that you did not agree and you were forced to sign the paperwork that they are giving you. Because that'll stand in court. They cannot use something, they cannot, at that point, you felt forced to sign a
What
piece
if
of
you didn't
paper.
sign no safety plan or anything? You guys, when you sign no safety plan, that means you're giving
Then,
CPS permission to take your kids.
right. But I'm just saying, if you put I do not agree, that is literally legal in court to say, I was forced to sign this. Because if I didn't sign this, they were going to do this, 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 and this. That's how
They'll
they're
just
getting away with it.
photocopy over it like it never happened. But you make sure you have a copy of it as well.
That's why you take pictures of it.
Stay proactive on
Take
that.
pictures of everything. That's what I'm saying. Screenshot it. Take pictures. All of it. Do it all. Because that's the only, it'll stand up in court because it's on your phone too. And at that point, email it. And I would be telling everybody this. Email it to someone you trust. That way, if they say, "Oh, it's fabricated," it this, it that, you can say, "Oh, really?" Because here's all the other, these people have it, and start calling those people in court. That's how you get away. That's how they get away with it, is by saying, "Oh no, it was this and it was that." No, you have the original copy by taking a picture. That's how you do it. And I work in, like I said, I work in legal system stuff. This is how we catch people.
Okay. Do we have? Can we get this one person in here real quick, Lily?
Yeah, I'm
Lily,
gonna go. I'm going
just
back to chat. Bye.
well, hold on, real quick, Faith. Hold on,
Okay,
real
what?
fast. Can you? I don't think she's clicking. After she's done, Faith, can you show everybody the SOS signal?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Hey, Lily.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Sorry that you had to wait so long. I do
It's all
apologize
right.
about that.
It's all right.
Go
No
ahead. The floor is
problem.
yours.
So, my situation started on June 14th, 2020. Um, it was on a Sunday afternoon, I guess. And the night before, I had gotten into a domestic dispute with my ex, their dad, and where he put his hands on me, but I didn't call the police or nothing. I ended up leaving, and he was there with the kids, and then you know his mother was there, but his mother was a ex heroin user, and they ended up so she was on methadone, but her husband had just died like a few months before that, so I guess she relapsed or whatnot. I didn't know this until I figured everything, put the pieces together. Um, and so when when I came back after leaving, I went to go see my brother and talk to him, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna come over with the kids. I'm gonna because I just can't do this anymore." The following week, that same week. Um, I was on the Monday. I was gonna start my training for becoming a UPS driver, and I had my daycare already set up. I had talked to my daycare provider, like the night of the incident of the domestic dispute, and she said just bring them over as soon as you gotta go before your training. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was gonna end up staying at my brother's anyways, and And so when I did that, I said, okay. When I got back, he left, she left, and so I was there by myself with the kids. I left I left the house as soon as I got there. Like it was like 11 o'clock at night,
Mhm.
and then the dispute happened, and then I left that same like about an hour later. I didn't come back to the house until like 3 a.m. after I took a shower and everything. Um, I went to sleep, and but I didn't realize what time it was, because I was up making sure that the kids were asleep and everything, and covered up. And so when I woke up, I didn't even check the time or anything. Um, it was it's all just like a blur to me. It's kind of like they get you, like things that happen to you in an instant as soon as you wake up, and it's like you don't even know what happened, you know. So so I was using the bathroom. There's three bathrooms in that home, and I was using one of the bathrooms. And as I was sitting on the toilet, you know, I had the door open so that I can hear out for the kids and stuff. But before I went into the bathroom, I looked over to make sure that the kids were okay, and they were fine. They were watching TV. Um, and then, like a few minutes after I was already sitting in the bathroom, on my phone, text messaging his dad.
Mhm.
I, letting him know, hey, your son needs you, so forth and so on. And my son comes running in. He goes, Mom, the police is here. I said, the police? Well, why are they here? And so I quickly got up, cleaned, I washed my hands, and then I walked out there just to see that my son ran back outside. And I said, what are you doing out there? I was like, and he's like, he just ran straight back out there. And when I went outside to get my kids, there was like 5 or 6 police officers just waiting, like, playing with my kids and stuff. And then I was like, what are you guys doing here? I was like, come on, get back inside, And as I was sitting there trying to get my kids inside, I look over and I see the sergeant going into the home. And I said, excuse me, do you have a warrant? And he said, I don't need one. And I said, okay. Mm. So I'm not on probation or parole. I'm not, it wasn't my house. It was my ex-mother-in-law's house. She was in the process of moving into her new home. So I was living in San Lorenzo at that time. And this happened in Richmond, California. Um, it didn't take him long before he came back out, and they cuffed me and in front of my kids, and ended up arresting me and putting me in the back car of the seat. And like before all that, I asked the sergeant. I said, "What's going on? What's happening here?" And he said, "You want me to tell you in front of all your neighbors?" And I said, "Please, I don't even know what's going on." And he says, "While you're in the bathroom floor, shooting up with heroin and stuff, your kids are out here playing by themselves and unsupervised." And I said, "What are you talking about? I don't even do heroin." I was like, "I don't even do drugs. What are you talking about?" And sure enough, they take me to jail. But when I was detained, I had a chance to talk to my ex-mother-in-law, and I said, "What happened?" And she said, "Well, I got there, and they were putting the little one in there in the backseat of the car." And I said, "I'm their grandma. Uh, can I get my grandbabies back?" And they said, "Do you have an ID?" And she didn't have her ID on her, so they didn't even give her the kids. And then my ex had gone to the station, and he went to pick up the kids, and him they wouldn't give him the kids because he looked like he was under the influence. So was on the report. That's what it said. And so yeah, that happened, and then I was in jail for about 3 days. When was it? Sunday to Wednesday, and then they gave me a certificate saying it wasn't an arrest, or it was just a detained certificate saying that I wasn't arrested, but yet I have these charges of child neglect, child abuse, and uh, intent to abandon a minor under 14 after adjudication or something.
Mhm.
Um, Possession of controlled substance, possession of paraphernalia, and I was like, what's all this stuff? What did they find? Because they didn't tell me anything, and they said that they found syringes, they found a spoon with a cotton with heroin on it, and like about a gram and so forth of like which looked like methamphetamines, but they couldn't test it because it was contaminated with fentanyl. So they booked me, but then after that, they sent me to the sheriff's West County, and the had to book me again. And so not only do I have those charges, but duplicated charges from the sheriff's department, and the sheriffs are the ones that included that intent to abandon a minor after all that. Um, but they're saying the intent to abandon was when I got arrested. So how am I supposed to? They didn't even give me the time of day or anything to give anybody a call or give them any clothes for my kids or anything at all. Like they just took my kids the way that they were, and they were from what I know now, they were in a safe home um, for about a day before before they even got to the foster care home. And fast forward, they weren't giving me like where I had to go test. They didn't even test me that day that I got arrested or nothing. Nothing happened that day. Um, but that was I feel like they violated my Fourth Amendment. Only simply because I didn't give them permission to go in there, and there shouldn't my kids were inside the home when they got there, so that means that they lured my son outside in order for him to open the door for them.
Wow, that's scandalous.
And now I'm at my um from what I know that they gave me the shortest period, the shortest term for the reunification rather than the long version or something.
Mhm.
And I'm like, just all I'm waiting for. The only thing that's a barrier now is just the housing, and I've got my housing voucher. I've gotten approved by this uh, brand new property for a 3 bedroom, you know, and all I'm waiting for is a moving date. That's all I'm waiting for. But they know that this is something that I'm waiting, but they want me to reunify with my children, bring them, give them to me before the 31st of this month, which I can't because I mean I'm calling, I'm making, you know, I'm visiting people, I'm talking to people, talking to different resources and everything, trying to figure out where I can stay with my kids, where I can have my kids with me, you know, because they granted me 30 days consecutive.
Mhm.
And with my overnights, I just barely started having my overnights. This is my third weekend. This last weekend was my third overnight. Um, you know, and my worker is trying to place my children with me now, like sooner rather than later. And they've extended it. The judge that I had was actually really good judge. She was fair, I think. she did her job, you know, and she recognized my efforts and everything that they've asked me to complete, I've completed. You know, I tried to get my kids on with my cousin, my paternal cousin, and they denied him. And I mean, they didn't deny him; they approved him, right? They made him do all these, you know, the what's it called, the classes and everything, and he passed and everything. But then when I asked the social worker what's going on with my cousin, why can't you place them with my cousin? And he said, oh, something that have to do with social security number. And I was like,
Mhm.
what? And so then I asked, it wasn't until like a little while, like a little bit ago, not that long ago, that my cousin ended up telling me, hey, I have to tell you something. And I said, what's going on? And he said, well, you know, before your current social worker, before this one, he said he came to do the inspection of the home and everything,
Mhm.
and he said that everything checked out. Now, right now, my cousin is actually fostering three of my nieces that
Mhm.
belong. That's my other niece. She has an open CPS case in Oakland, and and so if you know when the time that he said that he was able to provide housing and fostering for my children and that I could live there with him if need be.
Mhm.
That opportunity for me is now gone because he's fostering three nieces. So right now, you know, so when so he said that the two different there was two the inspections at the one for my nieces was so much different than the one that they did for me. He said that the one for my nieces, they, you know, marked all kinds of things. They gave him a gazillion pages to sign and all this and all that. But with my worker, he didn't even give him anything. He just said, okay, yeah, everything looks good. And then that he walked out, but 5 minutes later, he calls him back and he says, hey, I'm going to be totally honest with you. She's not going to get the kids back. So you're going to have to adopt. And he said, I can't adopt them. I'm
Mhm.
not going to do that to my cousin. I'm I'm trying to help her get her kids back. I'm not trying to take them away. And he says and then he said because I'm trying to sell my house and once I sell it, then I'm going to move to Mexico. And the social worker said, "Well, great. You can take them with you to Mexico." And my cousin's like, "No, I'm not going to do that to her." And he says, "Well, I guess we can't place them with you." And so my children were denied from being with a family member because of that social worker or whatever it is
Wow.
that they denied. Yeah.
So did they just make that up about the heroin and stuff in the bathroom,
I
or
don't know
what? What?
what it is they found. You know, they didn't. I didn't see anything because I had just woke up. I All I did is went straight to the bathroom and sat on, on my phone trying to send all these text messages and everything, and then next thing you know is when my son came in and said, "Hey, mom, the police is here," and I didn't even have no chance to look around or anything. You know, I didn't even see anything out of the ordinary except for like the bags that I was already backing up of their clothes and my clothes and everything because I was leaving that day.
Mhm.
And it seemed to me like almost like I was, like they knew exactly where to look. Because if I didn't see it, if I would have seen it, I would have started asking questions or throwing it away or whatever, But since I was leaving that day, I really wasn't caring about anything else but just to get myself and the kids out of there. And now I'm just, you know,
So they basically, so you were in the house and you were bagging up bags, or you were
but
packing
yeah,
bags?
no, I was
Packing
um
bags or bagging bags?
the garbage bags, the black garbage bags. I was packaging, like putting all of her clothes and
Yeah,
stuff.
putting the stuff inside of it. Yeah, you're packing it in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So there was a lot of bags with clothes, and they put it on the report, and that the house smelled bad, and my daughter
That's
had like
crazy.
a diaper that hasn't been changed in a long time, and I'm like, they're tripping. I had just bought diapers the night before, two boxes of diapers right after I got out of my orientation.
Mhm.
So, you know, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I've came across so many resources, so much information where there is housing for those people, families that are looking for permanent housing and everything. But when you ask them, they don't know anything,
Mhm.
and all they need is just a referral from their worker to the housing authority
Lily,
stating
did you
that.
ever have a trial on the merit?
Um, I did it. Yeah, we did have trial
Did the social
twice.
worker come and testify at any of the hearings?
Um, the the one that denied my cousin, yeah, he did testify, but my attorney didn't cross-examine him. Only my ex's attorney did.
So your attorney never cross-examined the social worker?
No.
Good night, Miss B. Thank you for being here.
You
Hmm.
have a right. Your attorney was supposed to cross-examine that social worker.
Yeah, well, he didn't, and that social worker did try to like say that I falsified the testing, and I was like, why? Because I put the wrong date, but if everywhere else is the MA or the medical assistant is actually filling out the paperwork, I mean, they should even go by that. So now what I started doing is I started getting a printout of all the times that I went to go test at the site,
Hmm.
and
And was
send
that
that
a
in.
pack
So
tox location?
that's at a Concentra.
Okay. And did they have a medical diagnosis stating that you are a substance abuser in the DSM Fifth Edition?
No, they didn't. I don't even have anything stating that I'm a substance abuse of anything. Except for
Mm.
alcohol. They said, because I had a previous DUI case back in 2008, and then I guess I got arrested or detained or whatever on, I think, 2 months later, after they took my kids, and nobody told me that I couldn't drink.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that I couldn't drink or anything, and it was gonna be my daughter's first birthday, no, second birthday, and I was gonna miss it.
Yeah.
Well, here, hold on real fast, Lily, real quick. We have somebody in the back lobby, Brings, so I can see Bringz. I can't get you on the panel because you have no mic. That's what it's saying. It says you need to connect your mic and before you can come on the stream. So it's not showing that you have a microphone. I would have brought you in already. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
So they never had a medical diagnosis of anything,
No,
a medical confirmation that you was a substance abuser.
no.
Did they have a? Didn't you have food, clothing, and housing for your kids?
There was food in the refrigerator. We had clothing. Like I said,
Can
there
you
was
take care of your kids?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can drink. You can drink.
As far as they know, as far as they're concerned, I can't.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, they threatened us all with that, but I literally had a picture of somebody drinking around my kid, and they was just like, forget that. It was never reported. Um, And it's crazy because I'm like, you guys have a court order. No one can drink or be under the influence of alcohol or drugs around the kids. And
Mhm.
here we have somebody, you know, taking a picture with your child right there and with toasting up, saying they had 3 drinks and things like that, but you can drink. You are able to take care of your kids. Good night,
Yeah.
Rasu. So
Good night. Thank you
um,
for being here.
thank you. Go ahead. You can finish, Lily. I'm sorry. I just had to ask.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so it's just been a really long 2 years, and this social worker that I have now, he has actually, he decided to help me, and he knew that I was serious because um, he told me on our last meeting, he said, Miss Gomez, he said, the reason why I decided to pursue and helping you and everything is because of what the judge said when she said that she was going to grant me everything that we were requesting was because she can see that I can self advocate for myself. So she knows for a fact that I can take care of my kids and get them the help they need or whatever it is because I know where to look and how to look. And so he said, as soon as she said that I can self advocate, he instantly said, okay, well, I'm going to help you. And that's because, I stay up late at night reading and watching videos and TED Talks and all kinds of stuff. I just look it up. I just Google it. Everything's on Google now. So anything that you can think of, I've Googled my own name, and I mean, people, you don't stop learning until the day you die, you know? And I made a promise to my kids that I was gonna buy them a house. And that's my main goal, is to buy them a house so that they wouldn't have to suffer this homelessness of after I'm gone, that they can have a home to go home to and raise their kids and stuff like that. Like right now, my oldest is actually 18. She had my first grandbaby back in September. Um, she got married and everything. She got married to a Marine. And then my little 3 ones that I'm trying to get back. My second child is Joaquin. He's 6 years old. My Lizzie, she's 5, and my Savannah, she's 3. She was not even 1 when they took her, and then she turned 1, and then 2, and now she's gonna be 3 this year. So it's like the lady before me, she said, you know, these are like the 2 years that I can't get back, and I've told this to the attorney, and it's just crazy. One caseworker after another, and one judge after another, one attorney after another. It's just like, come on, like, can I just get one steady person instead of having them change them often? Now the judge that was working with me, and granted me everything, she's no longer going to be in my court anymore. I'm getting a new white guy, and I don't even know who he is or where or anything about him. And so I'm just a little concerned, but I'm trying to keep it together, trying to continue to do the drug testing, continue to do the meetings that they asked me. They said, just continue the meetings, continue the testings, let's continue your overnights, and everything should go fine. I mean, they're trying to reunify. So all I'm waiting for now is my housing and the moving date. And believe me, everybody, I'm like the point of contact to all these other agencies, instead of them keeping in contact with each other, within each other, of emailing each other, since it's so easy to just send an email. Instead, I'm the one that has to show up at their doorstep. Like, Yeah, I need some information now because it's time sensitive.
Here, you guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen for the person that's trying to join over and over and over and over and over and over. Look at your phone or whatever device you're using right now. This is you. You see what it says? That you need to
Which one?
connect your mic. I can't get you on the panel. Do you see? Do you understand? You've tried joining like 100 times already, and I would let you come on, but it's not allowing me to. Look what it says. You have to connect your mic. So connect the microphone or something. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
It's all right. So yeah, you know, I'm in transitional housing now with Bay Area Community Services, and they have me in transitional housing in one of like their hotels, but I can't bring my kids in here because you know, they have housed pedophiles and everything in the same building, and which is like could be my next door neighbor, you know. Even though these are like single room occupancy, it's still transitional, and they don't even have anything right now that's available for families yet, which they need to because there's ladies and mothers and families that have children that are fighting to reunify, and it's just crazy. Like I feel like if I ever win the lottery, I'd get like a big old mansion and just house like nothing but families, you know. So I mean, it's a working process, but I'm almost there. Which is why I
Well, let
haven't
me
been
have
able to.
let me have. I'm sorry. Let me have Faith. Faith, can you show everybody that had the SOS hand signal? I know you're getting tired over there.
Yeah, sorry guys. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm getting dizzy. I'm kind of sick right now at the same time. There's actually three of them going around right now. So we're trying to make awareness of all three now. The first one is the domestic violence from Canada, which is just this. This one is kind of hard to see, and this is the one that I don't personally recommend because you can't see it. It's just like somebody just holding their hand, and it's kind of weird. The second one is the one that the deaf culture uses, as well as the nonverbal, which is a blinking system. And it tuck your fingers in, and all four fingers over that finger, or that thumb, I'm sorry, and just keep doing it until someone helps you. You can do it on your side, behind your back, behind your head, wherever, underneath your arms. So what, like if you're underneath your arm, it would be like something like this, and just kind of, whoa, there we go, like that. You can even do it with the one, but like I said, it's easier to do it with the
Whoa.
blinking. The third one, if you're talking to someone and they do this, that means they can't speak at all. They can't speak about the person that they're next to or around. That one's more direct. Um, that I would suggest to call 911 as well, because people doing this and not speaking at all is the one that is usually in the sex trafficking world. So that's what's been going on.
Well, thank you. Did you almost
You're
fall over right
welcome.
now?
Right?
When you stood up, did you almost fall over? You go, whoa.
Yeah, I told you I was dizzy.
You okay? You
My
got me
bronchitis is
behind.
acting up.
Huh?
I have bronchitis right now, so I'm on the inhaler, so it's making me very itchy
Oh,
and
okay.
dizzy and all kinds of stuff.
All right. Well, I appreciate you doing that. This is
You're
Faith. She's a
welcome.
part of the team. She's been a part of the team for a long time. So,
I'm at the
and
Thank
beginning.
you so much.
from the beginning. So,
From the beginning.
yep.
All
So yeah, I
right, see you
appreciate
guys.
that,
I'll be
Faith.
back in chat. All right,
Thank you
you're
so
welcome.
much. I appreciate
Okay.
You're
you.
welcome.
Okay. See
And
you
I
later.
would teach that to everybody, all your kids. Even if they're, you get the visits with the CPS and all that and stuff like that. Start teaching them this, because honestly, that's
What
He
just
just put
happened?
me backstage, mister. But just start sharing that around and everything. Like, follow me on if you do have TikTok, follow me there. Pretty soon my name will be Purple Faith. Right now it's that purple hair lady because that's what everybody calls me. Um, because there's gonna be a lot more tips on a lot of stuff in there. But right now that's what we're doing is just the SOS and other stuff that's going on with me. But like I said, I'm dealing with TikTok on their abuse level right now on the fly. So you're not going to see all that on there yet because they'll take me
Okay.
down.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate
I'm
you.
going back to chat. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Have a good night, Faith.
You
We
too.
have
Bye.
Queen. Queen just joined. Hello, Queen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
The floor is yours if you want to speak on anything.
Okay, I could barely hear you. I was trying to find my headphones. Um, what did you want me to say? Just say something about myself?
You,
Huh?
About your case.
Oh, about my case. They took my kids. My daughter. My kids had beat up my daughter, and they said that the judge said basically I'm gonna be in jail riding when I go get my kids back. And so I'm still trying to get my kids. I really don't know what to do. Um, I was in the bed when my kids had hit her. You know, I didn't know they was hitting her with a belt. And she was always messing with them and stuff, you know, so otherwise, you know, they lied and said I hit my other kids. I didn't hit none of them. You know, and I'm just like, oh, getting some letters from my neighbors. They didn't even ask my neighbors or none of that stuff. They just accused me of selling drugs and being real abusive. And I'm like, you know, I went and got some letters from the neighbors and stuff because all my neighbors know I sell cars because I tried selling them some cars. Um, that was my occupation. I was going to school. I left my kids at the house and I went to go play bingo with my mom because we go to bingo every Monday because it's $20. Um, so yeah, now my sister got my kids. She don't want to give me back my kids. She said basically I don't know why. You know, it's just I think it's the money. You know. That's what I think it is. It's all about the money. So I just hope I get my kids back, you know.
right. We hope you do too.
Huh?
So they were taken. They were taken for what reason?
Um, because my daughter, my oldest daughter, said I hit her with a belt.
Oh,
She said I hit her with a belt. So they took all my kids from me because she said I hit her with a belt.
and the courts made that ruling.
The social worker made that ruling.
Did you already have an open case?
No, I didn't have an open case.
So basically, somebody called and said you spanked your child.
No, I was at bingo.
Oh, you're at bingo.
I was at bingo, and I told my daughter that day because she was getting to it with a lot of people that was in the. She always like I don't know. She always make these rude comments. She was just like she always starting stuff everywhere I go. She's always starting stuff, and I told the department because the case was prior open in 2015, and they took him in 2017. I told them like I need help with her. Like you know, basically you tie my hands with my daughter because the social worker told me that my daughter is allowed to run the streets until 10 o'clock p.m. and I can't do nothing about that. So she had it in her mind that she could run in the streets to 10 o'clock at night
Wait,
and
the
that,
social worker told you that your daughter could play in the streets to 10 o'clock at night?
that she don't have to be in the house at 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
That's their rules.
And what state are you in?
I'm in California and they up to leave for 3 days. You can't make no police
California.
report up to 3 days. So they could basically run away and go party for 3 days and you can't make a police report or none of that. But I still make several police reports every time she'll disappear. She stole one of my cars like twice. Um, she went in my room one time, took the keys out of my room because I had several cars. She took my car keys, and she had her own car. Actually, she had her own car. Um, I took her car from her because she drove my car, and I told her like, you can't drive my car. My car is a gas saver, and this is for my work, for me to go to school and work in. I had bought her a car, but I told her she can't drive it until she get her learner's permit. But it's sitting right there in the yard, and she could just sit in the car because it had TVs and video games in her cars and stuff. So I had bought all the kids a car, so the grown ones. So
So how
um,
old is your daughter that was removed?
she's 18 now.
She's 18 now. When it happened?
Yeah, she's gonna be 19. She was 16. No, she was 14. Because 17, 18, 19, 21. Yeah, because she could be 19. She was gonna be 15. Or she was
Wow.
15.
Hey, Raul, what's going on, brother?
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So it went to court, right, Queen?
Yeah, I went to court.
And what about you? Did you have an attorney? What, public defender?
Um, I was pregnant. I was pregnant. I was really sick when they took my daughter from me. And all my kids. I was like 2 months pregnant. I was going through that morning sickness stage. So they prolonged the trial to I was like 8 months pregnant. I was supposed to go to trial. They were stressing me out, telling me my son is missing. Oh, you stole him. My baby said he got socked in the mouth. Don't nobody want to believe me. He told me during a visit during a social worker, and she said I put that in his head to say that. And he's showing me how she socked him and stuff. I said, where she live at? He telling me, and they ended the visit right then and there when he was telling me where she stayed at.
Wow. Hey,
So
Fighting Mom or CPS, did you guys have any questions for her?
Did you got to cross examine any social workers at your hearing?
nobody. I was having a hearing, and I'm telling them all this that happened. I fell out in the restroom. The police came in the restroom. She stole my money that I had, my rent money. She stole my rent money. She stole my Armani glasses, and she stole something else from me. I forgot what else she stole. And she didn't want to say she stole my stuff. The lawyer talk about, oh, we already had the trial without you, and I said I want to go to trial. My daughter's not here, so whatever he did, I don't know what he did, because I ended up going to the hospital from there, from the courtroom in the ambulance. Then when I came back, there was no trial because I was already like 8 months pregnant, and they were stressing me out. Then they said I didn't win the trial, and they took my kids from me, and they told me that I was gonna have a chance to get them back, and they wasn't gonna take my baby, but they took all the rest of them. Um, they told me that they was gonna give me all my kids except for my daughter, the one that said that stuff against me, and she was a runaway. So I was stressed out, like, I want all my kids. No matter what my daughter lied and said about me, I still love her, and I need her off of them streets, wherever she's at. It's not cool being an adolescent running these streets like this. I know what happens in these streets, and they didn't have no concern for her. They didn't care, and she been a runaway the whole time since they had her. So, and that's been like 4 years. She's been on the run.
So that's another person that wasn't able to cross-examine the social worker.
The social worker, she didn't even come to court.
Mhm.
She had submitted like a letter Like during court, she has submitted a fax with some new evidence or something like that.
Oh, that's crazy. We have
Then my attorney told me if I was to go to trial, that they go lock me up in trial because my daughter said I hit her. She changed it from a belt to a bat. Then she said that she just changed the whole story. Then she changed it. Then she said she hung herself. Then she said I tied her up. Then she said I threw her out the window. Then she said my
So
baby
every day
daddy raped her.
basically is something else
Yeah,
with these
so
people.
they end up throwing up all these other stuff up in there, but they found it all to be inconclusive. Like they couldn't. Like I told them, like I got proof, and I showed them the proof of my baby daddy being at the Latin Awards during the time she said that she got raped. He wasn't even in town. Me and him wasn't together. We had broke up a while ago when I got pregnant. We had broke up. Um, the kids ended up breaking breaking some of his stuff that I had at my house. Stealing some jewelry and stuff.
all
But
right.
I'm
Here,
like,
hold
kids
that
gonna be
thought. I want to.
kids.
It's getting really late, so I want to get Raul here. He's over here patiently waiting. Just hold
Okay.
that thought, Queen, if you can. Go ahead, Raul. Floor is yours.
Okay, you're talking about my story, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Raul Gallardo, Fresno, California. I'm a non-offending father. My daughter was born November 29th, 2019, and when she was born, the mother and CPS were trying to give guardianship to my daughter's friends, and one of her other daughters before they even tried to contact me, and they didn't contact me until like about a week after. It was like December 2nd, something like that, of 2019. And finally, when they contacted me, it was not even CPS. It was my baby mom's other daughter who contacted me and told me that I needed to get my daughter because they're gonna CPS was gonna take her and put her in a foster home. And I was like, what happened? Is she born right now? Is she finally did my baby mom just give birth? She's like, no, they were trying to hide. They were trying to give us the guardianship this whole time, and now we have exhausted all efforts. So now, there's no one that can take my little sister, which is my daughter. And I was like, why did you guys? I'm saying, why did you guys didn't tell me when she was born? And they were like, oh well, CPS didn't want to contact you for whatever reason, and so.
Whoa.
But so long story short, even though it only seems right that the father should be at least the second one runner up, get guardianship, right?
Right.
But that didn't happen. So when I contacted CPS, I contacted him the same night that my mother, my daughter's other daughter called me. So then I called CPS and then I let them know that I'm gonna be coming coming tomorrow, the next day, to court to contest for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the biological father.
Right.
So I go to court the next day, and then they were asking for a paternity test because I wasn't there to sign the birth certificate on only because my baby's mom, we weren't together. We both we live in separate homes, and we weren't together after she was like 4 months pregnant because she was doing drugs, and I don't condone none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be the parent that gonna go ahead and okay for her to do drugs while she's pregnant, right?
Right.
So that's the whole reason why I broke up with her. So now I was still visiting her in jail because she got arrested while she was pregnant with my daughter. She gave birth to my daughter while she was in jail also. So I kept visiting her in jail only to keep me updated, and we talked about it within ourselves, me and my baby's mom, about like, okay, so this is what might happen. They're gonna remove her from your care. You already know that. So just give them my information. This is my address. I got my own apartment now. I got a crib. I got everything for her. And we even chose names for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And everything was good. Where I thought everything was good, because that's not that, and that's totally opposite from what had happened. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even call me until like a week after she was born. She didn't give her my last name. I wasn't there to sign paternity attorney on the birth certificate because I wasn't allowed to because she gave birth while she was in jail, and you know how it's I guess it's restrictions for other people to go because she's an inmate in that case. You know what I'm saying, an inmate while giving birth. So
Right.
that's how I was unable to sign the birth certificate. So and then so when I'm at court, they were asking, they were like, "Are you the father?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm the biological father." And they're like, "How sure are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure," you know. And then they were like, "Are you sure would you like a DNA test?" You know what I'm saying? Because who knows if you are the father, or you know, what if you have you ever had second thoughts or whatever? So they kind of like tricked me into like believing that, okay, maybe I do need the DNA test. You know what I'm saying? Just sure. But with
Right.
that
Tricky,
DNA,
tricky wordplay. Right.
exactly, they coerced me, and
Right.
they made me go and play into the court system and to the CPS. And now I'm in their playing grounds because by me saying that I want a DNA test to prove that I'm the father, now we have to go take a DNA test, and now I couldn't get my daughter right then and then. They were like, "Okay, well, you can't get your daughter until we find out if you are the father or not." So I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I am the father." You know what I'm saying? So they didn't let me get my
Oh, they
daughter.
set that right up.
They set that right up exactly.
Right.
So and then as time went on, I was waiting for the doctors to call me to go take the paternity test. It was like 2 months when I finally got the call. So I took the cotton swab, and my daughter took the cotton swab that day. And then so the test came back inconclusive. There's only two ways it can come back inconclusive from a DNA test. One, not enough samples were collected from either the dad or the daughter or the son, right?
Mhm.
And for them to determine if I'm the father, right? Or there's a thing called GWPD. Only 14 people in the world have it. It's where basically I made my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like all my DNA, me and my daughter, we have identical DNA, like DNA strands. Only she got like 4 DNA, like the chromosome gene as a female. She got that from her mom. The eye color, she got that from her mom. But other than that, the rest is all me. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Um, it's a rare thing. So me and my daughter are basically like identical twins, like in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So therefore they couldn't. So that way, there's no way that they can determine if I'm the father. It's weird how that is, but so there has to be some type of difference. You know what I'm saying? So they got the mom they pulled her out of jail, and they made her to take a DNA test for them to be able to see if I'm the father or not. And then they confirmed I was the father. But by that time had passed on, and it was already I was already 3 months in, right?
Right.
So now that when they removed the daughter from a baby from birth, you only have a 6 month window of opportunity to get them out.
That's why they were trying to buy time
Yes, you know what I'm saying.
on
So
purpose. Right.
exactly, and then so here comes December 4th when I go to contest on the court case. The first
Mhm.
appointed attorney that they assigned to me, her name was Jennifer Walters. Um, I didn't know what type of person she was, you know what I'm saying? I just figured she's an attorney. She's good, you know what I'm saying? Like the state
Mhm.
appointed her to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking that she's a child molester, but long story short, yeah, she ended up being a child molester, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason how I find out is because she wasn't. I'd call her right after the court dates, and I'd be like, okay, so how we're gonna go about this? And I started to look into other lawyers, right? I was getting a lot of good knowledge of what forms to file and what forms, and that to then tell my attorney to file, right? And then she would never file them for me. You know what I'm saying? She was just next court would come, and then she was like, "Oh well, we're just gonna go ahead and go move it to the next months down the road." And for the judge, you got a new judge. He doesn't know what's going on, so we're gonna extend it to the next court date. I'm like, okay, I'm not thinking nothing of it. So I call her again. I send her some Gmails. She emails me back, and then she's like, okay, if you want to talk to me, you gotta set up a meeting. You gotta call my secretary, and then once that we've got that meeting, then we'll talk on the phone. I'm like, all right, cool. And then so and then I was unable to communicate with her again. And then I'm like, man, it's getting close to the next court date. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with this lady? She's not even helping me out with my case. I told her what the forms to file, and she hasn't filed nothing. So and then I look her name up because I'm like, I'm pretty pissed at this point, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to her office, you know what I'm saying, and demand some answers. So I go to Google, and I look on the internet, and her picture comes up, and it's a mugshot from the Fresno County Jail. and it stated that Jennifer Walters was being charged with 10 felonies of sexual misconduct, having sexual relations with a minor. You know what I'm saying, under 13.
Whoa, and this
And
was a attorney, you said?
attorney, yes, and
Wow.
it just devastated and blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I was already like 4 or 5 months in. You know what I'm saying, into this thing, right? And
Right.
into my trying to fight for my daughter, right? You know, I'm losing time, and for me to find this out, it almost like I don't know, it just devastated me, you know, and that let me know that
Right.
the help I was getting, but and my suspicion was right. You know what I'm saying, that she's not there to help me. She's
Right.
there to obviously help CPS pretend that she's helping the parents, but you know, because why would they allow a sex offender to be working family law on a bed, working around kids for that matter? You know what I'm saying? Like there should be no reason and no excuse for that matter, you know? So I confronted her about it, and then I let her know, like, hey, like, wait, is this you on Google? And she was like, yeah, why? You know what I'm saying? Like nothing of it. And she was like, I was like, well, what do you mean why? I was like, because you know what I'm saying? I was like, how dare you not disclose this type of information to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's like, why should I? It's none of your business. I was like, what do you mean it's not my business? It is my business, because you're over here saying you're helping my case out in regards to my daughter, and you're working child dependence cases on behalf of kids when you're having sex with kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was like, oh, it's none of your business. If you don't like it, then hire another attorney. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I would like for you to file a change of attorney. You know what I'm saying? So, and then she does that, you know, and then so and it's not like it was a wham bam thank you ma'am. She moved this little kid in to her house, which was her son's friend, and it went on until he was 18, from 13 years old to 18 years old, right? So
Wow.
not only did they, and she was arrested in August, and she didn't bail out until October. My daughter was born October 29th. We didn't have the first case till December 4th, so it was only like 2-3 months, and she was still out on bond. She was out on bail, right?
So she's
At that
out
time.
on bond, working in the
Out on
courts.
bond. Yes. So the judge obviously knows that she's out on bond. The DA obviously knows she's out on bond, but still they allowed her to be my appointed attorney. For what? I have no clue. The only thing that I can think that's plausible was just to help CPS remove children from our care, because I'm not the only case that she had. You know what I'm saying? I had other friends who've had the similar attorney. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I was like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That they would allow her to just continue working on my case when they're prosecuting her at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's crazy.
so and then after I get a change of what do you call it? Change of attorney. Um, oh wait, before all that, before I fire her, I had filed a motion, one of those forms, a JV 180, I believe it's called. So, and it was a motion to change venue
Change
or
the
to just
court or change the court
change.
order.
Yes, exactly. Change the
The
court order. There you
JV
go.
180.
Right.
Yeah. So I filed one, and that I had to pay an attorney some money out of my pocket, and then I filed it on, you know, so like I said, she wasn't filing in my form. She wasn't contacting me or anything like that. So I went out of my way to get that filled out, helped by this other attorney, and then I submitted it to the clerk's office, and then boom, it was in the judge's desk. I mean his bench. The next morning, I went to court, and then he was reading the documents, and he put everything on recess before he had all the people on the side, you know what I'm saying, and my baby mom's other attorney, because me and my baby mom, we had separate attorneys, right? So they were making a mockery of me. They laughed at me. They're like, oh wow, did you file this? And I was like, yeah, I filed that. They're like, they go, who helped you fill out this form, you know? They go, before you go out and file for something, you let me know. She was Jennifer Walters was telling me,
You
and she was
don't
upset
never
about the whole
have
thing.
to let anybody know. You can go and file that on demand. If your attorney is refusing to do that, you can go and file it yourself. You just have to say, I demand you to file this.
Yes, exactly, and that I learned from this Vincent this one guy. He's an attorney. He's all over YouTube, but it's Vincent. I forgot his last name, but he's very good, you know. And he's the one.
Davis, yeah, he scammed a
Vincent, yeah,
lot of
Davis,
people.
yes,
He
that guy,
scammed a
that
lot
guy.
of
He's
people.
good.
Mm.
Yeah. So I learned I got that from him, right? So and then so I was just like I ran with it. So once I filed that form, and they were like basically trying to belittle me, saying that, oh, why did you file this form behind my back? And I was like, well, you weren't filling out those forms for me. I told you constantly that I needed these forms filled out and to be sent in, and so the judge can see it. And so therefore you're unable to help me out on my case. I felt that I needed to do this on my own, you know. And then so they're like, well, she was like, well, there's no facts in here. I don't there's nothing on here that look at the form itself. It's like it's not a professional looking one, and basically like so like how is she like trying to like go against me at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like when in reality she should be like, okay, well the form's filed, okay, we're just gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? At least if she was a proper attorney, but she was like basically like saying like, nah, this is no good. So then the judge goes, all right, the judge sided with her, and then the judge was very biased by the way, and so he ripped the form in front of me, and he was like, well, I'm not gonna submit this documents, this form. So yeah, if I were you, I'd listen to your attorney right here, and next time you have anything that you want to a form or whatever you need filled out or sent in, you let her know first. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I tried. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, it was not submitted.
The
So and then
judge.
the judge ripped it in front of my face, and they laughed at me. You know what I'm saying? They're like, so they go, I don't know where you're coming with all this, where you got all this knowledge supposedly. Like, what are you, an attorney or something? And I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I'm obviously getting help from somebody, and it's not her. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so I don't see the problem with me putting in this form, and now and I don't see why you're so upset, Jennifer. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be on my side, my attorney. Why am I like? Why you feel like? Why I feel like you're the DA or something like that, or you're the CPS worker. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're acting like, you know? Supposed to be on my side. You're supposed to be like, okay, you filed the form, okay, good, we got it in. You know what I'm saying? But nah, none of that. So then I fired her, right? When I fired her, I got this other attorney, and yeah, she was of no use to me. You know what I'm saying? I even tried to file this what do you call it? A motion to dismiss some other. I tried to use the Constitution. Because like I said, I was at a point where I was stressed out. I didn't know what to do. I was the mother no longer started showing up to court, so therefore I was fighting this on my own. You know what I'm saying? The mother totally gave up. You know what I'm saying? Even though the mother got out of jail, she went into a program, graduated the program, she was sober, and I was getting Zoom visits with my daughter through video because you know the whole coronavirus thing. Mm-hmm. Tell me why my baby mom, when she got out of rehab, they were giving her in-person visits. So basically, like they were criminalizing me, like I'm the one who got my daughter removed, and they were just go ahead and giving her like go ahead and let her take my daughter home to doctor visits. You know what I'm saying? And my baby mom would like send me photos of her and my daughter just chilling together. You know what I'm saying? Like in person, hugging her. And this whole time, I'm having Zoom visits with my daughter. It's been about a year already at this point, and you know, I've never got to hold her in my arms. I never got to tell her I loved her. I never got to see her in person. You know what I'm saying? But I thank God that even those Zoom visits, they did make me and my daughter have a connection. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the people and that were overseeing the visits, you know, supervising the visits through the camera, through Zoom, they told me like it gave me great feedback. They're like, you know what? Your daughter knows you're the dad, and that's amazing how you're able to have this communication, this bond with her, and you've never even seen her, you know what I'm saying, in person, you know, and never held her in arms or anything like that. And you know, it just saddened me this whole time. And like I said, it's already almost to trial. I got this new attorney. I'm trying to use the Constitution because I don't know what else to use. And then when I try to use the Constitution, I had like these affidavits these affidavit forms that I sent in. And they were like, the judge was like, well, you can't use the Constitution here. Constitution is no good in child defense court. There's no way that has no grounds here. And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I'm thinking like all courts are under the Constitution. You're able to exercise them. You know,
Supposed to be.
And right. and I was unable to. So she dismissed the whole my whole it was a 60-page documents, affidavits, cause and demand. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what the forms were, but but they were no good to me anyways. You know what I'm saying? And that I learned from some other guy on the internet, and which comes to find out it was all bogus anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like those things and stuff like that. So, but like I said, I had nobody else helping me, and the new attorney I got was not helping me either. I basically just lost my parental rights in the end because they were like talking about it's already been past the statute of limitations, the legal limit that they would have, and that my daughter, she's already been with the foster parents who adopted her, who are trying to adopt her, and that it would be detrimental to her to put her back, to put her in my home. You know what I'm saying, to let her be with me, her dad, when in reality my daughter, she calls me dad. I teach her how to I was teaching her how to say her numbers, how to speak in Spanish and English, because I'm bilingual. I finally got in-person visits, like towards it, like before trial came. I finally started getting visits twice a week, and everything was good, and I thought, I was like, maybe I can create some kind of like bonding assessment, or I can have them do a bonding thing where you know what I'm saying, to see if so they can have like somebody record whose bond the child is with better. And I guarantee they would have said it was me, but they never even gave me the bond assessment with me and my daughter, and therefore they determined in the courts that just based on how long it took, and the only parents that she knows of is the foster parents, that it would be harmful for my daughter to be with me, her biological father, which devastated me, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, and I even told the judge, I was like, why did you guys keep switching judges? See, had you guys known that this whole time I was being lied to, and there was no help from the attorneys that I received because she was too busy fighting her own personal case that she had, which was 10 counts of felony counts with sex with a minor, and therefore, do you think that I had a chance? You know what I'm saying, I was like, there should be something where I should be able to start from the beginning, start over with a new attorney or something like that, because there was so much misconduct coming from this attorney that you guys gave me, you know what I'm saying? And I believe it's very unfair. It was unfair from the beginning when you guys first tried to give guardianship to the mother's friend and the mother's daughter, So therefore, I started this case losing from the get-go, you know what I'm saying? The odds were against me from the beginning, and the whole thing where, and then finding out the attorney was a child molester, man, I say I was going into depression at that point, Right now I'm much better, I've gotten in contact with some people. I made a little documentary about my story with my daughter, and actually I started to organize a rally here in the Central Valley in Fresno, California, and it's on the 14th in a few days, and I'm gonna go protest. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like a protest; it's more like a movement. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a war on kids. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to take our future from us. And because our kids are our future, and without our kids, there is no future. And and I won't stand for that. I won't stand for that. And if someone has to challenge them, someone has to make them demand some answers and change their policy, or something has to happen.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. I wish the best for you, bro. Especially on the 14th, man. Just don't back down. And just make sure you record everything, bro. You got a channel that you use, or?
No, I'm actually sort of, like I said, I just was like, I just thought of just doing this, because I heard of the protests in LA and stuff like that, right? And then another one in Sacramento. I'm going to the one in Sacramento too as well. But I wasn't hearing, there's a lot of people parents in the Central Valley that go through the same kind of corruption that CPS, you know what I'm saying? Like, it goes through the same stuff that
it's everywhere.
It goes everywhere. It's worldwide, right? Yeah. So I just felt like I needed to just be like the voice for the kids that are taken from the Central Valley or something. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't know no one who's contested CPS or made them demand some answers, you know, and
Right.
I'm willing to stand for that. You know what I'm saying? Like for the children, you know, and so I'm new to this whole thing, and I will be making a channel. Actually, my friend has a channel, the one who helped me with the documentary, Advocate TV. His name is Isaac. Very good guy right there, man. And with him, I was able to make that documentary and have my story heard. And I thank him a lot for that, you know. And that's what I got going on right now, for the time being, you know. But the CPS ain't heard the last for me, you know. And I'm being helped trying to fill forms for a civil lawsuit because that was some misconduct. That was I don't even know.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Misconduct from an attorney that I've ever heard of. You know what I'm saying? And it disgusts me. You know what I'm saying? Like how dare they? And then the judges and the DAs knew about it. You know what I'm saying? And they allowed it to play on for like 5-6 months. Like that tells you the type of people that they are. You know what I'm saying? Very satanic. You know what I'm saying? Very they're not godly. They're not for us. You know, they're against us. They're here trying to they're here decreasing population. They're trying to get rid of our kids, our future. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a whole nother agenda, and we're not part of it. You know?
Right. Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, you know, you can make the time to get back on a live feed. Let us know how that protest went on the 14th.
Yeah, we're gonna film it all. We're gonna film it all, and I'm actually gonna also on that I want to bring awareness to the whole situation too. You know what I'm saying? Because I want kids to go there too. Like I invited some kids, you know, that are old enough to to understand what's going on, you know, because you know I gotta teach them and at least give them some knowledge about like what happens if CPS shows up at their school, like what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because CPS can go to the school without the parents' permission and interrogate them and question them, and they can just be giving up information that's detrimental to their families and could be hurting their families and not knowing, you know. And you know, because they CPS can switch up words and just for however they want it to their liking. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, you know what I'm saying, them to know that hey, I'm here still, and I want justice for my daughter. You know, and I got these people who are willing to have my back right here. You know what I'm saying? And we won't stand for that. We need some change. We need to know what happened. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like I asked for when I lost the case, I asked for an appeal. You know what I'm saying? My attorney, my new attorney, I even told her right there in court when we were having the court during Zoom that I was wanting to appeal this either way. And my attorney said, okay, I'll call you after we're done with this. I'll call you later. She never contacted me. A week went by, and I tried to contact her the whole time. She never contacted me back. And then you know, there's a certain limitation. I think it's like 60 days or something like that. And I found out that like later, but basically, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm still asking for an appeal. I sent her an email yesterday that I want an appeal, and why didn't she appeal it when I asked her to, you know? And you know, it's just been all wrong for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm the non-offending father who's just been wrongfully just done wrong, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the most ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. This is the first time I've ever had a CPS had any. It's not even my CPS case. It's under the mother's name, you know. And then it's so sad that the mother leaves me to fend for myself to get my daughter out of this whole situation, because she vanished like a ghost and had me just like fighting for my daughter by myself. You know what I'm saying? But did I quit? Never. You know what I'm saying? And I don't intend to. I never will. I will never let my daughter. I can't go without a fight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a quitter like that. And that's my child. She's mine. You know what I'm saying? And it's not in my DNA to just allow my daughter to just
straight up kidnapped your baby from you, bro.
Exactly. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can basically break it down to it. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? They kidnapped my daughter from me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They did. Where can people find this documentary? Your documentary.
This documentary, you could go on my YouTube, on my Facebook. It's my name's Raul Gallardo. The same how you see. I don't know if you can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
But you find that, and then you'll see my picture on there. and then you can scroll down and you can see the post on there. It's still recent, and it's Advocate TV, War on Kids, and you can see it right there, and it'll explain everything in better detail than right now because I'm just trying to like just summarize it real quick. But
Gotcha.
yeah, it's very interesting. You know what I'm saying? And it's the truth, and there's a lot of people that are going through the same thing I've gone through, and I'm hoping that this message gets across, and hopefully
It's
that
time
it
for us
enables
to
them to
stand
stand
up.
up. Yeah, and
It's time
that's
to
what I'm
stand up.
wanting.
It really is.
It is. It is.
And
It
you know
is.
what? I've been saying this for like 2-3 years now. I'm done with protesting.
Yes,
If
exactly.
somebody
You know what I'm
comes
saying?
and try to snatch one of my kids, bro, I'm fucking shooting them.
You feel
You
me?
guys will
You
hear
feel me?
about it on the news. I'm not
Right?
joking. They ain't kidnapping
Hey,
my
hey,
kids. Hell
yeah,
no.
and that's why I'm saying like this is not even like a protest, it's more like a movement because it's time for
Yeah,
us to move. It's time for us to
that's
get some
right.
answers, to demand some type of change. You know what I'm saying? Because this whole like where they're just taking these kids and they're not taking the kids who are getting abused. The kids who are really needing to get removed, they ain't removing them. They're letting them
No,
die
they're
in
not.
the hands of their parents. You know what
That
I'm saying?
happened
So
out here with a couple little guys. One of them was
exactly, you know
gay.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
and the kids who ain't getting abused, they're just like give me those kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
nah.
Like Gabriel
So
Fernandez, they left him
I
in that
mean,
lane.
exactly, Gabriel
his
Fernandez. You know what I'm saying? Is one
dirtbag
of them.
parents were beating him with bats and turning cigarettes off on him, and
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
they didn't do shit.
Disgusting.
They
They
literally
didn't do
left
shit.
him in the house to die. That's
Exactly. You know
crazy.
what I'm saying? And that is so evil in their nature. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's so sickening how they're knowing what's going on and they're allowing it to happen, and
And the social
they know
workers get
they
it
know the
wrong.
outcome.
They should be held accountable.
They should,
Everybody
and they
should
should,
Absolutely.
be, like the
they
parents
should.
are held accountable. They should be held accountable as well because this is the department. They have these
Yeah,
children under their care and they are failing to protect them.
yeah. And the statistics speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? Under the CPS care, 6 times are more likely to die in their care than with the general public. Like man, it's just amazing how they've been doing this for so long and nothing has changed. It's same shit, same thing over and over. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that
that's
how you said,
crazy.
man, it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? It is time. It is time. It's that time.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
time.
Well, it's time.
Yeah. But it's getting late, guys, and I do thank you guys for all being here on this live stream. I'm tired.
Thank you.
Okay,
Me
well, hey,
too.
I just want to thank you guys for letting me tell my story, and I appreciate you. And like again, you guys can look up my Facebook profile, Raul Gallardo, and scroll down a little bit, and you can see it. You can see the documentary.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure, man, and would love to have you back on.
Okay,
Let me
when you
see
guys
here.
is
I'll be live again tomorrow, and I'll do the best I can to get live on the 14th or 15th. That way you
okay,
can give us an update on how it went.
okay, we'll do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna document everything, and we're tired of this. You know what I'm saying? I know I am. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
and
of course.
I'm not done fighting. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she you know what I'm saying?
That's just
She'll
like
know.
let's just say you're outside. You and your daughter. You guys are outside, and you guys are enjoying the sun, and then all of a sudden, here comes this vehicle. They pull up, they jump on, they grab your kid, and take off. You're not going to let that happen.
Right?
But
Right?
here these
Exactly.
freaking people are. Oh, well, here I got a little badge. I have a little
Right.
paper badge. Look at, I'm taking your son and your daughter from you. I'm like, no, it's not happening like that.
Not
Hell
today. You know what I'm
no.
saying? Not
Not
today.
today. Yep. It ain't going down
Yep.
like that.
Not
They've done
today.
it to
Tomorrow.
too
Not
many
ever.
people, man. They've done it to way too many people, and people are fed
Exactly.
up. They're fed
Yeah.
up. And
Yeah.
so that these social workers act like people are gonna just forget about it. Like, oh, here, let me just forget about it. No.
Yeah.
One day there's
They're
gonna
like
come a
they're like he's
reckoning
from the
and
ghetto.
something's gonna
He's
happen.
poor. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Thank you
appreciate
guys.
you, bro.
God
I
bless you.
appreciate everybody
You're
on
welcome.
here. Yeah. God bless you
Thank
too,
you.
man. Keep us posted.
I will do. Will do.
All
All
right,
right. You guys
brother.
have a good night.
Yep. You guys be careful out there.
Okay.
All right, guys. So Fighting Mom, thank you for being here. CPS News Network. Lily, I know you guys are still here in the background. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed, but we will be
Thank
live
you.
again tomorrow.
All right,
Mañana.
we'll be here. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.
Have a blessed one as well. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for everything you guys do. God bless. Stay strong, stay encouraged, and have courage for sure, 100%. All right, guys.
Okay.
AV, watch me. Now that we